तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. Okay, let's start our 18th chapter of the 6th canto. Very simple and easy chapter. Not a complex subject matter is here. It's a storyline. My voice is audible and clear for online students. What do you say? Huh? Voice is clear?
Clear, Prabhuji, it's clear.
Yes. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. You all know. So, 4th chapter of this canto is started at the beginning. Daksha Prajapati story we started. Why that story was started, you know? Parikshit Maharaj was asking about the secondary creation. He was asking secondary creation, how the secondary expansion, secondary creation is done. Various species in these 14 planetary systems, so how they are produced or expanded, that thing is asked. So to answer that, Sukadeva Goswami started replying about the Daksha. So Daksha is a Prajapati. Then he produced 10,000 children in the first attempt. They were preached by Narada and they became mendicants. Then after that, 1,000 also same thing. So they did same thing. So next, like this, you can see So he produced the 60 female babies, so 60 daughters. So now today we are going to hear so the continuation of that expansion, that how the dynasty is increased, population is increased, that we are going to discuss. But in that we have seen Diti's Aditi is having the so four sons, four sons of the Aditi. Actually, Aditi is having the 12 sons. In that 12 Adityas. For about the fourth son, so that is a Twasta is the one among those. And when Twasta is having the Vishwarupa, and Vishwarupa is a Brahmana, but he is produced from a demonic wife. Twasta was having the Daitya girl. So from her he produced Vishwarupa, and but still Indra accepted him as their priest. Then story is turned actually. Story turned from there to discussion of the this Indra is getting the uh, so Indra becoming positionless because of disrespecting his guru, and so on. So all this, how Vishwarupa became guru for the Indra, that story was discussed. Then after that, in that Utrasura's point came, and then so how Utrasura being a Asura, he is being a devotee also, how it is possible. Then Chitraketu's story came. So ultimately, what is the main discussion? Main discussion was about the lineage, the dynasty of the Daksha is being discussed. In that also, Aditi's so fourth son, about the fourth son was discussed. So now we will be continuing from there actually about the fifth son, and next what, and also Diti's so sons also will discuss. So Diti's progeny, how it is expanded, that is also will be discussing. Okay, this is the this chapter deals this. Let us continue. Sri Sukha Uvacha Prishnistu Patni Savituh Savitrim Vyahrutim Trayim Agnihotram Pashum Somam Chaturmasyam Mahamakhan. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Prishni, who was the wife of Savita, the fifth of the 12 sons of Aditi. Aditi is having 12 sons. 4 sons we discussed in chapter of which chapter? In chapter 6. In chapter 6 we discussed that. Okay. 4 sons we discussed about that. There only from the 7th chapter onwards, topic is diverted towards Vishwarupa. Because 4th son is Twasta and his son is Vishwarupa, and he became priest for the demigods. How it happened? So then story gone. So now fifth son of the Aditi is Prabhu. Actually, sound is resounding. Actually, can you adjust this? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay. So the fifth, I say actually, resounding is coming, na? No? Echo is coming. Echo. Today echo is coming. No? It's okay? Then fine. The fifth of the 12 sons of Aditi gave birth to 3 daughters. That means Prushni is a female, Savita is male. Savita is the fifth son of Aditi, and they produced both Prushni and Savita, Savitri, Vyahriti, and Trayi. And the sons named Agnihotra. So Pashu Soma, Chaturmasya, and the 5 Mahayagnas. These are also produced. These many sons, 5 sons and 4 daughters. 3 daughters. Okay, next. Siddhir Bharyangam Bharyanga Mahimanam Vibhum Prabhum Asisham Cha Varoroha Kanvrata. O king, Siddhi, who was the wife of Bhaga, the sixth son of the Aditi, bore three sons named Mahima, Vibhu, and Prabhu, and one extremely beautiful daughter whose name was Ashi. Okay, sixth son. From the Aditi sixth son, these so came. Dhatuhu kuhuhu sinivali raka chanumatistatha sayam darshamata prataha purnamasa manukramat agnin purishyana datta kriyayam samanantaraha charshani varunasyasi yasyam jato bhruguh punaha. Data, the seventh son of Aditi, had four wives, namely Kuhu, Sinivali, Raka, and Anumati. If anyone wants names, female names, male names, they can get a lot from here. Sinivali, Raka, अच्छा लग रहा है ना names. Kuhu. These wives begot four sons named Sayam, Darsha, Pratah, and Purnamasa, respectively. The wife of Vidhata, the eighth son of Aditi, was named Kriya. In her, Vidhata begot five fire gods named the Purushas. The wife of Varuna, the ninth son of Aditi, was named Charshani. Bhrugu, the son of Brahma, took birth again in her womb. वाल्मीकिश्च महायोगी वल्मीकादभवत् किल अगस्त्यस्य वसिष्ठस्य मित्रा वरुणयोर्ऋषि. By the semen of Varuna, the great mystic Valmiki took birth from an anthill. Bhrugu and Valmiki were specific sons of Varuna, whereas Agastya and Vasishtha rishis were the common sons of Varuna and Mitra, the 10th son of Aditi. Actually, one time what happened, this Varuna and Mitra, when they saw a beautiful damsel, what is her name? So, by seeing the Urvasi, I think. Yeah, it's coming anyway next. Yeah. Sixth anyway it is there. Retaha Sishichatu Kumbhe Urvasya Sannidho Drutam Revatyam Mitra Utsargam Arishtam Pippalam Vyadhat. Upon seeing Urvasi, the celestial society girl, both Mitra and Varuna discharged semen, which they preserved in an earthen pot. The two sons Agastya and Vasishtha later appeared from that pot, and they are therefore the common sons of Mitra and Varuna. Mitra begot three sons in the womb of his wife, whose name was Revati. Their names were Utsarga, Arishta, and Pippala. These both Mitra and Varuna, they discharged semen and combined that and kept in a pot. So from there, two boys came out, Agastya and Vasishtha. So that's why these two are the common to both of them. In the previously also it is there. So modern science is trying to generate living entities in the test tubes by processing semen. But even long ago, it was possible for semen kept in a pot to develop into a child. It was there in the previously also technique. पौलोमिन्द्र आदत्ता त्रीन् पुत्रानिति न श्रुतं जयन्तं वृषभं तात तृतीयं मीडुषं प्रभुः. O King Parikshit, Indra, the king of the heavenly planets, and 11th son of Aditi, begot three sons named Jayanta, Rishabha, and Medusha in the wombs of his wife Paulomi. Thus we have heard. उरुक्रमस्य देवस्य माया वामनरूपिणः कीर्तौ पत्न्यां बृहच्च लोकस् तस्या सन् सौभगादयः. By his own potency, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has multifurious potencies, appeared in the womb of a dwarf Urkrama, the 12th son of Aditi, in the womb of his wife, whose name was Kirti. He begot one son named Bruhatsloka, who had many sons headed by Saubhaga. Like that, 12 sons of Aditi are over. Because we are seeing the dynasty of the Daksha. Daksha is having 60 daughters. Out of that, 10 he gave to the Yamadharmaras. So some 24 he gave to 24 or 14 something. He gave to Kashyapa, and some he gave to sun, moon, and some he gave to Agni, like that. So different people he gave. So Kashyapa's wives. So among those Kashyapa's wives, Aditi is also one among those. And she is having the 12 sons. And about those 12 sons we discussed. And Kashyapa is having one more wife. Many wives are there. So that is given in the 6th chapter. I am not remembering the numbering. So how many daughters? Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kasta, Arishta, Surasa, Ila, Muni, Krodha, Tamra, Saubhagi, Sharma, and Tami. These many are there. Kashyapa's wives. So we have seen Aditi. Now we will be seeing the Diti. Ditis. तत्कर्म गुण वीर्याणि कश्यपस्य महात्मनः पश्चाद् वक्ष्यामहे दित्यां यथैवावततारः. Later, in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, I shall describe how Urukrama, the Lord Vamandev, appeared as a son of the great sage Kashyapa and how he covered the 3 worlds with 3 steps. I shall describe the uncommon activities he performed, his qualities, his power, and how he took birth from the womb of Aditi. So these we will be discussing in the 8th canto. Because in the 8th canto, we will be once again discussing all the Manvantras. So all the Manvantras we are going to discuss. In that 7th Manvantara, the Indra is, who is the Indra? So in that 7th Manvantara, we will be hearing. No, in the 6th Manvantara, Samudra Manthan. So churning of the ocean happened. From there, so different people came. Bali also got the different objects from there. So then Bali Maharaj became very powerful and he defeated Indra. So then all the demigods ran to forest. Then Aditi was crying. So, and Aditi worshipped the Kashyapa. Then she did the Payovrata, and by that vrata she produced so Vamandev. So, and Vamandev helped her to once again take back, that means get back the kingdom of Indra. So that in that context we'll be discussing actually there in the 8th canto. Okay, this Vamandev's appearance and everything will be discussed in the 8th canto elaborately. Ata Kashyapa Dayadan Daityan Kirtayami te Yatra Bhagavata Sriman Prahlado Balirevacha. So now let me describe the sons of Diti, who were begotten by Kashyapa, but who became demons. Why they became demons, we discussed in the 3rd canto. 3rd canto, 14th chapter, 14, 15, and 16. In this demonic family, the great devotees Prahlad Maharaj appeared, and Bali Maharaj also appeared in that family. The demons are technically known as Daityas because they proceeded from the womb of Diti. Diti's sons are known as Daitya. Ditehe dvau dayadau Daitya dana vanditau Hiranyakashipurnama Hiranyakshascha kirtitau. First, the two sons named Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha took birth from the Diti's womb. Both of them were very powerful and very worshipped by the Daityas and Danavas. Hiranyakashipurbharya Kaya Durnama Danavi Jambasya Tanaya Satu Shushtuve Chatura Sutan Samhradam Pragunuhradam Hradam Prahradam Tat Swasa Simhika Nama Rahum Viprachito Grahit. The wife of Hiranyakashipu was known as Kayadu. She was the daughter of a Jamba and a descendant of Danu. She gave birth to four consecutive sons known as Simhala, Simhlada, Anuhlada, Khlada, and Prahlada. In Sanskrit, you can read Ra and La as alternative. So you see in the Sanskrit how it is then Anuhrada also you can say, Anuhlada also you can say. Both are correct. So Ra and La are replaceable. Rama, Lama is also okay. Hale Lama, Hale Lama, Lama Lama, Hale Hale. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Huh? Huh. Yes. Yes. The wife of Hiranyakashipu, okay. These four sons, Kayadu got four sons and one daughter, Simhika. She married the demon named Viprachitya and gave birth to another demon named Rahu. Shirohara Jasya Haris Chakrena Pipato Mritam Samhradasya Kritir Bharya Suta Panchajanam Tataha. While Rahu in disuse was drinking nectar among the demigods, the Supreme Personality of Godhead severed his head. The wife of Simhlada was named Kriti. By union with Simhlada, Kriti gave to a son named Panchajana. Haradasya Dhamma Nirbharya Sutavatapi Milvalam Yogastyaya Tutithataye Peche Vatapi Milvalaha. The wife of Lada was named Dhamani. She gave birth to two sons named Vatapi and Ilvala. When Agastya Muni became Ilvala's guest, Ilvala served him a feast by cooking Vatapi, who was in the shape of ram. Ram means the goat's bachda. Huh? Goat only, no? No. Sheep's calf, baby sheep. Ram is very soft and smooth. Huh? Yeah. Anuhradasya suryaya Bashkalo Mahishasthatha Virochanastu Prahradir Devya Tasya Bhavat Balihi. The wife of Anuhlada was named Surya. She gave birth to two sons named Bakshala and Mahisha. Prahlada had one son, Virochana, whose wife gave birth to a Bali Maharaj. Banajeshtam Putra Shatam Ashanayam Tato Bhavat Tasyanubhavam Suslokyam Paschadeva Vidasyate. Thereafter, Bali Maharaj begot 100 sons in the womb of Asana. Of these 100 sons, King Bana was the eldest. The activities of Bali Maharaj, which were very laudable, will be described later in 8th canto. We'll discuss. Banaradya girisham lebe tadgana mukhyatam Yat parshve bhagavanaste yadyapi purapalakaha. Since King Bana was a great worshipper of Lord Shiva, he became one of the Lord Shiva's most celebrated associates. Even now, Lord Shiva protects King Bana's capital and always stands beside him. Marutascha putraschatvarimshannavadika tasanna praja sarve nita indrena satmatam. So 49 Maruts, demigods, were also born from the womb of Diti. None of them had sons, although they were born of Diti. King Indra gave them a position as demigods. Apparently, even demons can elevate it to position of demigods when their atheistic character is reformed. Okay. Sri Rajovacha Katam Tasuram Bhavam Aupohyotpattikam Guru Indrena Prapita Satyam Kim Tat Sadhu Krutam Hitaihi. King Parikshit inquired, my dear Lord, due to their birth, the 49 months must have been obsessed with their demonic mentality. Why did Indra, the king of heaven, convert them into demigods? Did they perform any ritual or pious activities? This is a question asked. So then story starts. Ime shraddadate brahman rishayo hi maya saha parignanaya bhagavan stanno vyakyatum arhasi. My dear Brahmana, I and all the sages present with me are eager to know about this. Therefore, O great soul, kindly explain to us the reason. So from here, story is starting once again. Like in the case of Pasta, so story is deviated. And how many chapters we discussed? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 11 chapters. So only one question asked by the Parikshit. What is that question? Why Indra accepted Vishwarupa as their priest? For this whole story came. Now once again, so he is continuing. So that story he finished, and Sukadeva Goswami continuing of further sons of Aditi. And after Aditi over, now Diti. So in that Diti now Maruts. So when Sukadeva Goswami mentioned that Maruts, they also became once again demigods. So Indra made them demigods. Why he made? How he made? What they did? So now once again story is going now towards the Pumsavana Vrata. Next, Sri Sutavacha. तद्विष्णुरातस्य सबादरायणिर्वचो निशम्यादृतमल्पमर्धवत् सभाजयन् संनिवृतेन चेतसा जगाद सत्रायण सर्वदर्शनः. Sri Suta Goswami said, O great sage Shaunaka, after hearing Maharaj Parikshit speak respectfully and briefly on the topics of essential to hear, Sukadeva Goswami, who was well aware of everything, praised his endeavor with great pleasure and replied. So, purport, Maharaj Parikshit question was very much appreciated by Sukadeva Goswami because although it was composed of a small number of words, it contained meaningful inquiry about how the sons of Diti, although born as demons, became demigods. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur stresses that even though Diti was very envious, her heart was purified. So this is the commentary actually. You can see. Here, there is a little commentary is there. Otherwise, very rarely we can see commentary in this chapter, my dears. Swarup Siddha Bhakti is how many types? Bolun, tell me. Swarup Siddha Bhakti is how many types? Whoever is going to tell, he will get freely 10 marks. Freely 10 marks. additional 10 marks. One additional question will be told to them. In exam. Five numbers I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell. 2. What are those? Mike, take mic and tell. Swarup Siddha Bhakti is how many types? No.
Actually,
No.
I told 2 because he told 3. So if
2,
not
okay.
3, then true.
You're right. Okay.
I can tell the things because
Swarup Siddha Bhakti, okay. 3 times he is telling you. Let give to him. What are those 3? Twenty. ठीक है, rest ले लो, rest. Don't worry. So Swarup Siddha Bhakti is 4 types. 4 types. Tamasika Bhakti, Rajasika Bhakti, Satviki Bhakti, Nirguna Bhakti. Okay. If you do Sakshat Bhakti or Swarup Siddha Bhakti for destroying others, then it is Tamasi Bhakti. Swarup Siddha Bhakti is done for material gain, then it is known as Rajasika Bhakti. And Swarup Siddha Bhakti is done for the liberation, then it is known as Satviki Bhakti. Swarup Siddha Bhakti is done for the pleasure of the Lord, is known as Nirguna Bhakti. Okay, so here, what is that discussion? The discussion is after hearing Maharaj Parishas. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is going to clarify some more things. Arthavat anekhardaiktam tatraiko jignasarda. Okay, yatha. So tamasim bhagavad bhaktim kurvan asuddha chittepi nischala mata nichalam atamasim bhaktim anushangikam samsara muktim chitta suddhi praptya पर जिघांसा निवृत्तिं च लभते इत्यत्र दितेरेहो प्रमाणम. Here we are going to take the Diti example. Diti is going to perform Tamasika Bhakti. She is going to worship Supreme Personality of Godhead to produce a child who is going to kill Indra. Okay. By doing this kind of Bhakti, what is the result? His heart is purified. And also, as Anushangi, as a side product, she got the Samsara Mukti and also Chitta Shuddhi. And also, she left off the thought of killing others. And so we are going to see the story, which is the example for Tamasika Bhakti, which is explained in 3rd canto, 29th chapter by Kapila Bhagavan. Okay. 3rd canto, 29th chapter, Kapila Bhagavan was telling. So tatha kutila chittaha vivekinopi yan doshan paresham pashyanti taneva doshan swasmin sitan api na pashyanti ityatra. So krumi vid ityadika vachanat diteheva pramanamiti dvitiyaha. Diti is also is a pramana. Is a pramana for one more thing. For the intelligent, crooked people, they don't see their own mistakes, but they see always others' mistake. For this also, our Diti is example. So, देखिए, doshan swasmin stitan api na pashyanti. Crude, vid, ityadika vachanat. Ditehe eva pramanam. Stri mayaya महाविघ्नोपि प्रतार्यो भवति इत्यत्र कश्यपः एव प्रमाणम् इति तृतीयः. Woman is dangerous. That means any learned person can be cheated by attraction for a woman. Okay. This is the third exam. Third pramana. Pramanam iti tritiyaha. Whatever the story, see, whatever the story Sukadeva Goswami is going to explain. What question asked? What is the question asked by the Parikshit? How these Maruts became the demigods. So for this, so Sukadeva Goswami is going to tell about a story. That story is covering, so these things. This is the proof for doing tamasi bhakti and becoming or living that crookedness. This is also proof for, so this second, that means kutila chittaha and vivekaha. Intelligent crooked people, they don't see their own mistakes and they see always others' mistake. For this also, she's example. That also we'll see. And also we'll be seeing Maha Vignaha Api. Even one is so much intelligent and learned person, Stri Mayaya Prataryo Bhavati. That means he will be definitely Prataryaha, means hunted, cheated by the, so attraction for the woman. Okay. Write the question. List out the points which can be covered in the story narrated by Sukadeva Goswami. When Parikshit asked, the reason for Maruts to become demigods. हो गया एक ही बार, क्योंकि मुझे reason for Maruts to become demigods. Simple. List out the points covered in the story narrated by the Sukadeva Goswami when Parikshit asked the reasons for Maruts to become demigods. इतना तो बड़ा रहेगा क्वेश्चन, क्या करें. चलो. शिशुको वाचा हतपुत्रादि 3 marks. You'll be seeing in the 22nd sloka commentary. Answer is there in that. Sisuko vacha hataputradi shakra parshnigrahena vishnuna manyuna shokadiptena jalanti paryachintayat. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, just to help Indra, Lord Vishnu killed the 2 brothers Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Because of their being killed, their mother Diti, overwhelmed with the lamentation and anger, contemplated as follows. Okay. So Diti's two sons were killed and she was very much lamented. Why she was lamenting? Because she is getting angry towards the Indra, not towards the Vishnu, because Vishnu killed her two sons for favoring Indra. So that's why she was having so much angry towards the Indra. Kadanu bratru hantaram indraya rama mulbanam aklinna hrudayam papam ghatayitva shaye sukam. Lord Indra, who is very much fond of sense gratification, has killed the two brothers Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu by means of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, Indra is cruel, hard-hearted, and sinful. When will I, having killed him, rest with pacified mind? She is now she wants to kill Indra because Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha are the brothers of Indra. Yeah. So, Chachi ki beti. Yeah? No, Mosi. Masi. Hey, Masi. Krumi vidbhasma sangasi Angasit yasyesha vihitasya cha bhutadruk tatkrute swardam kim veda nirayo yataha. When dead, the bodies of the all rulers known as kings and great leaders will be transformed into worms, stool or ashes. If one envious kills others for the protection of such a body, does he actually know the true interest of life? Certainly he doesn't. For if one is envious of other entities, he surely goes to hell. So see, she is finding faults in Indra. Yeah, she is finding faults in the Indra, and she is not finding the faults in our side. What Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha was doing, that she is not understanding, but she is seeing the mistake in the Indra. What Hiranyaksha was doing. So when he took birth, immediately he started going with his club and just beat everyone is coming in front of him. He is beating everyone actually. All the demigods left that heaven and they ran away. And he wants to fight and he went to Varun Lok also. He was asking Varuna hey, come for fighting. And Varuna surrendered. And he told that I cannot give competition for you. You go to some ocean and there is a big hero is there. You fight with him. There Varaha Bhagavan was standing actually. Then he said, Acha, you are going to fight. Then the fight started. So in that third canto, 16th chapter, 17th chapter, we were discussing that. So Aranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha are so demonic, and her sons, what the mistake they are doing, she is not at all. So identifying that, and she is seeing the mistakes of the Indra, and that's why she is the example for Kudala Chitta and Viveki. He's intelligent, crooked fellow. She is example for that. Next, Ashasanasya tasyedam dhruvam unnadda chetasaha madashoshaka indrasya bhumadhyena sutohi me. Diti thought Indra considers his body eternal and thus he has become unrestrained. I therefore wish to have a son who can remove Indra's madness. Let me adopt some means to help me in this. Now she is making agenda. So she's making a plan. She wants to kill Indra. So for that, so she is trying to finding the solution. So let us see what solution she is going to bring up. Iti bhavena sabhartur achachara sakrutpriyam shushrushayanuragena prashrena damena cha bhaktya paramaya rajan manognai valgubhashitai manojagraha bhavagna sasmita panga vikshanaihi. So thinking in this way, Diti began constantly acting to satisfy Kashyapa by her pleasing behavior. See, O king, Diti always carried out Kashyapa's orders very faithfully, as she desired, with service, love, humility, and control, with words spoken by sweetly to satisfy her husband, and with smiles and glances at him, Diti attracted his mind and brought it under her control. So whenever woman wants anything from husband, she will be serving him very faithfully, very nicely. When woman wants to endear herself to her husband and make him very faithful, she must try to please him in all respects. When the husband is pleased with his wife, the wife can receive all necessities, ornaments, and full satisfaction for her senses. Herein, this is indicated by the behavior of Diti. So that's why woman, whatever she wants, she should get from her husband. And to get from him, she has to please him. Then she has to serve him very nicely. Every man, immediately, he will become happy when his wife is serving nicely. Why man will look outside? Because he is not getting the sufficient love from her husband, from his wife. Because of this, he's looking outside, And when woman is chaste, a chaste woman can attract a husband very easily. That means husband is also good. A sober husband can be easily controlled by a chaste woman. It's very easy. So then what she is expecting from Kashyapa, let us see, to kill Indra. Prabhu actually is so echoing, na? Today's. Thoda echo kam karna hai, Prabhu. Echoing actually. Not echoing? Yeah, it's echoing actually. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. थोड़ा कम हो गया, थोड़ा क्यों पता नहीं चलिए going. Okay. So evam striya jadi bhuta vidwan api manognaya Badamityaha vivasho natachitram hi yoshiti. Although Kashyap Muni was a learned scholar, he was captivated by Diti's artificial behavior. काम करवाना चाहती हैं बस, which brought him under her control. Therefore, he assured his wife that he would fulfill her desires. Such a promise by a husband is not at all astonishing. When wife serves very nicely and faithfully and with loving, caring, humility, and so then what will happen? Immediately husband says that, what do you want? Tell me. So this after marriage, either you should be controlled by Maya or otherwise, so Yoga Maya, Bhakti. Ashram, your senior devotee may control, otherwise, if you don't want that, you can get married nicely and wife can control. Anything will happen. Anything one should happen actually. Without control, you cannot live. One of these two is must. Then there is a progress. Either of these two is there, then there is a progress. If you are not in these two, then there will be no progress. Many times ashram, we might be doing 1 hour service, half an hour service, and thinking that, oh, tired, and I don't want to do any service. But if you go for Grihastha life, how many hours we should work, Prabhu? How many hours? Whole day, morning 9 o'clock, you should go for office. You people work, no? How many hours you used to work? 10 hours per day. You? 12 hours. 10 to 12 hours used to work, and after that, So coming home, are you going to take rest? No. You have to take bath and eat prasadam, and then you should also hear all the whatever she gathered every day morning to till night. Everything you should hear and faithfully, peacefully, and answer them, and also satisfy her senses, bodily needs, all this, and then by sleep at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and you should get up and go for work. It's very difficult actually. So then even Kashyapa is so learned man, but he came in control of so Diti. Vilokyekanta bhutani bhutanyado prajapatihi striyam chakre seh swadehartam yaya pumsam matirhruta. In the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma, the father of the living entities of the universe, saw that all living entities were unattached. To increase population, he then created woman from the better half of man's body. For woman's behavior carries away a man's mind. Actually, initially, all the species are coming from the Brahmaji's mind. So from the Brahmaji's heart, and from Brahmaji's so hands, legs, all the Prajapatis were coming like that. Then he saw that this is not going to lead this progeny expansion so easily. Let me do one more idea. So then after that, he created Swayambhu Manu, and also he created Shatrupa. Then, wow. So then there is attraction between the male and female. Then they started increasing like anything. They produce so many. So 2 boys, 3 girls. Then after that, once again, so hundreds and hundreds like that, it is increased. So purports are very important. This entire universe is going on under the spell of sexual attachment, which was created by Lord Brahma to increase the population of the entire universe, not only in human society, but also in other species. As stated by Rishabhadeva in the 5th canto, Pumsastriya, Maithuni Bhavam Etam. The entire world is going on under the spell of sexual attraction and desire between man and woman. When a man and woman unite, the hard knot of this attraction becomes increasing tight, and thus a man is implicated in that materialistic way of life. Double knot. If you are alone, you have to control your mind. But if you are together, you have to control the mind of your partner also. You don't want to have any enjoyment, material enjoyment. For example, material enjoyment. So then you are so following every 4 legs and nicely, so doing your bhajan sadhan. But your wife wanting, then she will be disturbing you all the time. Then what you will do? One time definitely you will finished. You have to do. Then you are also breaking the 4 regulative principles. In the Grihastha life, what is that? In Grihastha life, you have to have so sexual intercourse only for children. So 2 times, you have 2 children means 2 times. 3 children means 3 times. That's all. Sankar Sai Prabhu was telling on that day. So 2 times means 2 children means 2 times, 3 children means 3 times. That's all. In proper time and with proper mood, if you do, then 1 or 2 times, 3 times maximum is enough. So maximum maybe 10 times in whole life. Then after that, you should not touch. Like a brahmachari is going and touching a woman, is how much it is sinful. The same sin is there if a grihastha man is going and touching his wife. See, and it is illicit sex. Doing sex with his own wife is also illicit. There is no more, actually it is a grihastha life, that is a gruhamedhi. I don't know, but it is the principle. It is a principle actually. It is a principle explained by Prabhupada in the purport itself. Celibate life, they must actually. So that's why it is very hard, very difficult also. Even Grihastha life is also, Prabhupada says, our Grihasthas are brahmacharis. Yeah, both are difficult, but the point is, fact is fact. Fact should be discussed. You cannot hide the fact. We cannot bend. That means since we are not able to follow that, so that's why we should not say that. So this is the truth, and truth should not be discussed. No, no, we cannot go back to the Godhead. Definitely, without having the brahmachari life, we cannot go back. We should try, and we should definitely, that should come. Otherwise, by not following brahmachari life, our intelligence will be lost, and our, so all that means we, body will be weak, and also the dharma will be broken, and many problems will come. That is a basic necessity actually. So that is a point actually. Point is given for that only, because following 4x is not a easy thing actually. It's not a easy thing. Definitely I accept, but that is a fact. No, no. Once in month means, Prabhupada only explained, we discussed in the class also. What is the meaning of once in a month? Because to get a child, they will be getting the menstruation cycle that will come in once in a month. So after finishing of that 5 days of time, so then one right time they should see. That means within, after finishing 15 days of time they should take. In that 15 days of time, so one day they should fix for having the intercourse to get a child. No, 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 no. No. So whether to get child or not to get child, but once in a month, no, that is not the case actually. No, 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 this is a misunderstanding then. So if there is a purpose of producing progeny, then only, otherwise no touching. But it is many, many grihasthas, I know, years and years, they don't have any, that kind of young couples also, they got 2-3 children and finish, are there. They're always full busy in the service, this, that. While we're traveling, maybe some little distances may come, but they always try in the right path only, na? With full strong intention. They should try actually. What is that? Then you'll get more attraction there. Then it will become more easy, and she can do whatever you want, and he can do whatever. This is the illusion of material world. This illusion acted upon Kashyap Muni, although he was very learned and advanced in spiritual knowledge, as stated in Manu Samhita Srimad Bhagavatam. A man should not associate with a woman in a solitary place, not even with his mother, sister, or daughter, for the senses are so strong that they lead astray even a person advanced in knowledge. When a man remains in a solitary place with a woman, his sexual desires undoubtedly increase. So that's why we should, after getting association, then finish. It's not so easy to control. So even a learned people, good sadhakas also get deviation. So get diversion. But so that's why we should be careful. That means they are not bad, it's not, but because of carelessness, they will become victims. So because of carelessness, that's why we should try to stay together. 2 people all the time is good. So that night time, daytime, all the time. So in the room, we are putting a rule actually now in our ashram. 2 devotees should stay. 2 devotees, all seniors also. What is the problem? So, so that is a needed, and that's saving money also, cost cutting also. Good reason. Huh? Yeah. Therefore, the words ekanta bhutani, which are used here, indicate that to avoid sexual desires, one should avoid the company of women as far as possible. But in Krishna consciousness, so we sometimes we speak or we write messages to Mataji's, it becomes, but we should be very careful, because now the technology is facilitating so much. It is bringing, that means it is reducing the distance between the males and females like anything, rapidly. So many social networks, even you can see video calls. Yeah, because our safety is going down. There is no safety now. Yeah, all the nonsense, blue films, this film, that films, everything is accessible in your mobile. You can have calls with any girl, any mataji, anything, any woman, all the time. Close the door and you do whatever you want. So because safety, no safety. So in this, it's like a, even it is very hard. Following brahmachari life also is very difficult. Following brahmachari life strictly is also is a very difficult. Very means very difficult. Yeah. Very rare actually. Very rare. It's not a joke actually. We are trying, but you can just go to in your heart and you think how much you are brahmachari. You can understand. No need to tell we ourselves. Everyone have their own list. So just to go and see in your heart how much you are following, able to follow. So, but it is needed somehow or other. So it's needed, and we should try with full hope. We should try for full hope. Otherwise, doors will not be opened. Actually, not so easy. Brahmachari life is, that means grihasthas also they should follow brahmachari life. Even brahmacharis also they should follow brahmachari life, and they should be always saving themselves from these hunters. Actually, this modern technology, all these facilities are very dangerous, having this so much negativity also in that. So little benefit and lot of, how many times our mind goes into this and that. Every day our mind is like a prostitute and is going. It's not so easy actually. That's why Prabhupada said, leave all these technologies and settle in a simplified life in the simplified places. It's a very crucial situation. Without technology, you cannot preach. And if you keep technology, then there is a big problems. So how difficult life is. So gradually society has to be reformed. Prabhupada gave solution. He want, so people should live based upon land, cows and Krishna. And so that they are free from this. And only front end preacher should be in the city and using the technology. Front end preachers. And all other community people should be in the village side. Next, evam sushusastata bhagavan kashyapastriya prahasya paramaprito ditimahabhinandya. O my dear one, the most powerful says Kashyapa, being extremely pleased by the mild behavior of his wife Diti, smiled and spoke to her as follows. Shri Kashyapa Uvacha. Varam varaya vamoru pritaste hamanindite striya bhartari suprite kahkama iha chagamaha. Kashyapuni said, O beautiful woman, O irreproachable lady, since I am very much pleased by your behavior, you may ask me for any benediction you want. If a husband is pleased, what desires are difficult for his wife to obtain, either in this world or in the next? If husband wants, yeah, if wife wants, then she can please her husband and kaisa bhi chala sakti hai. Ekdam, she can ride on him by just loving and caring and nice service, then just take the control. Patireva hi narinam daivatam paramam smrutam manasah sarva bhutanam vasudeva shriyah patihi sayeva devata lingair nama rupa vikalpitaihi ijjate bhagavan pumbistri bischa patirupa drik. A husband is a supreme demigod for a woman. The supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Vasudeva, the husband of the goddess Fortune, is situated in everyone's heart and is worshipped through the various names and forms of the demigods by fruity workers. Similarly, a husband represents the Lord as the object of worship for a woman. Like king is the representative of the Lord. Yes, he's so implementing all the, that means his necessities, he is fulfilling all the necessities of the people. Vishnu is the maintainer, and that maintainer is represented by king, so that all the species in that kingdom will be maintained nicely. Similarly, in that kingdom, there are families. In that family, husband is a representative of Lord, and he is maintaining entire family. So that's why that maintenance quality is there in that husband. So that's why he should be treated as the Lord, and woman should worship him. पतिदेव की पूजा करना चाहिए. Huh? Wife is maintaining house. Then this is viparita. Woman is working outside and man is washing pots. Is very bad. Then it's reverse. Like in the Kali Yuga, people are electing the king. This reverse. Next. Okay, purport. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye Pyanya Devata, whatever a man may sacrifice to other gods, O son of Kunti, is really meant for me alone, but it is offered without true understanding. The demigods are various assistants who act like the hands and legs of Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is not in direct touch with the Supreme Lord and cannot conceive of the exalted position of the Lord is sometimes advised to worship the demigods as various parts of the Lord. If women who are usually very much attached to their husbands worship their husbands as representatives of Vasudeva, the woman benefit just as Ajamila benefited by calling for Narayana, his son. Ajamila was concerned with his son, but because of his attachment to the name of Narayana, he attained salvation simply by chanting the name. In India, a husband is still called Pati Guru, Pati Dev, the husband, spiritual master. So, if husband and wife are attached to one another for advancement in Krishna consciousness, their relationship of cooperation is very effective for such advancement. So that's why woman and husband and wife both should cooperate for serving the Krishna. And woman should worship the husband. It's not that the husband should worship woman. This is not given. Patni Guru, Patni Guruni is not there. Patni Devata. No equality. Because Prabhupada says clearly, male and female can become equal. That means man can have a pregnancy. Tell me. No. This is not how man and woman can be equal. Okay. थोड़ा रुको अभी सब रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है इधर. Although the names of Indra and Agni are sometimes uttered in the Vedic mantras, the Vedic sacrifices are actually performed for the satisfaction of the Lord. As long as one is very much attached to material sense gratification, the worship of demigods or the worship of one's husband is recommended. Okay. Tasmat pativrata naryaha shreyas kamassu madhyame yajante ananya bhavena patim atmanamishwaram. My dear wife, whose body is so beautiful, sumadhyama means her madhyama, that means woman shape like this. So middle portion should be thin. If middle portion is so big, then they are not sumadhyama. Then they will not be looking so beautiful actually. So your waist being thin, a conscientious wife should be chaste and should abide by the orders of her husband. She should very devotedly worship her husband as a representative of Vasudeva. Soham tvayarchito bhadre yidruk bhavena bhaktitaha tam te sampadaye kamam asatinam sudurlabham. My dear gentle wife, because you have worshipped me with great devotion, considering me a representative of Supreme Personality of Godhead, I shall reward you by fulfilling your desires, which are unobtainable for an unchaste wife. That's why if female maintain chastity, then easily she can control her husband. Very easy. If she is not having chastity, she is also looking here and there, then that strong attraction, she cannot attract, she cannot pull the attention of husband so strongly. Next, Ditiruvacha Varado yadi me brahman putramindrahanam vrune amrutyam mruta putraham yena me ghati tau sutau. Diti replied, "O my husband, O great soul, I have now lost my sons. If you want to give me a benediction, I ask you for an immortal son who can kill Indra." Huh? The second personality who wants to kill Indra. One is Twasta, he wants to kill, and now Diti is coming into the field now to kill Indra. That's why post is very dangerous. If you have a big post, then many people will try to kill you. I pray for this because Indra, with the help of Vishnu, has killed my two sons Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. What mistakes or misdeeds done by the Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, she is not saying those. The word Indra Hanam means one who can kill Indra, but it also means one who follows Indra. The word Amrutyum refers to demigods who don't die like ordinary human beings. So in this sloka, Indra Hanam and next Amrutyum. Amrutyum Amrutaputraham. So what she is telling, she wants a person who can kill Indra. Huh? Han dhatu is having the two meanings. Han meaning, one meaning is killing, another meaning is following. Han gatau. That means Han meaning is Han dhatu have a meaning of following. So that's why Indrahanam means the follower of Indra. You can take that. That means, so Kashyapa can give benediction to such a person who can be following Indra. And also, what is the next point? Amrutyum refers to the demigods who are going to be demigods. That means what? So whatever Diti asks, it can be taken in another way also. It can be taken in another way also. One is Indrahanam. And Amrutyum. She wants a son who is Amrutyu. Amrutyu means demigod. And Indrahanam means the one who follows. But this is the meaning taken by Kashyapa. But what she wanted, Indrahanam means the killer of Indra. She wants this actually. But it can have this meaning also. And Amrutyu means who, the one who doesn't have death. This is the, so Diti's intention, but it can be taken in this way also. That means she may get now the one who follows Indra and who can become a demigod. That's nothing but 49 Maruts. This happened actually. Full opposite. Yes. Uh, uh,
So there is two meaning is taken, consider here is meaning of amrityun, just like who never dies.
Yeah.
Literal meaning. Amar means not
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
But it is also take amar means amar, that is considered who has long life. So two meaning has taken. So
Yes.
so whether this also apply what we discussed anadi, anadi sansargat bhav, and jivas anadi baimukhata is there. So can we take, so there is anadi means no end. One meaning, literally meaning is taken.
Non-end it cannot get.
What is that is meaning of anadi? That
No adi, no beginning.
no beginning.
Beginningless.
That is meaning of anadi, no? And amrityu means amrityu. Amar means what is that mean? That is also meaning who never dies. But we are taking secondary meaning. We are taking.
No. It's not secondary meaning.
Uh-huh.
Amrityum is a given word for the demigods also.
Yeah.
It is the yogika and ruda.
Yeah. Rudha.
It's not the primary and secondary. Yogika and ruda. Yogika artha is the one who doesn't have death, or one who never dies. And ruda artha is demigod.
Yeah. So whether applies that word for
No,
anadi also?
it's not necessary for every word it is there. No.
Okay.
Every word doesn't need to have two meanings, yoga artha and ruda artha. No. So okay, next. So Bhagavad Gita, even the duration of okay. Nishamya tadvacho vipro vimana paryatapyata aho adharma sumahanadya me sumapastitaha. Upon hearing Diti's request, Kashyap Muni was very much aggrieved. Alas, he lamented, now I face the danger of the impious act of killing Indra. Because she is very crooked, Kutila. She wants to kill Indra, but killing Indra is not good actually. Because Vishnu is supporting Indra. Of course, Indra also did some mistakes, but he cannot be killed. And that's why Kashyapa, and also Indra is also son of Kashyapa, his own son, Aditi's son. So he cannot kill. And also he didn't do such a mistake, so he should be killed. But out of the enviousness, Diti wants. So now that's why Kashyapa in dilemma now. How to save her, and also her desire should be changed. That's why he is making plan. Aho ardendriya ramo yoshin mayyeha mayaya gruhita cheta krupanaha patishye narake dhruvam. Kashyap Muni thought, alas, I have now become too attached to material enjoyment. Taking advantage of this, my mind has been attracted by the illusory energy of Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of a woman, my wife. Therefore, I am surely a rich person who will glide down toward hell. Why this problem came? If you analyze, he got just Diti very just artificially. She did service for few days, and Kashyapa got attraction for her, and fat karke suddenly he told that, what you want, you tell me, I will give that. Mil gaya, bacha mil gaya. Then she asked that, I want a son who can kill the Indra. Finish game. So now, deliberating on this, Kashyapa is deliberating about his own position. What a thing I did. Why I got attraction for her. So that's why husbands, they should not be, they will be tricked by their wives very easily. If they are very nicely serving and all of a sudden their behavior is changing too much, and so nicely serving means you should understand that there is a very soon you are going to get. They will be asking such a thing, then you will be in a dilemma actually. They may ask, so you purchase this 5 lakh rupees of necklace, and she will serve for a few days, then he will be over excited by that. There is a danger actually. So it's lesson for the husbands. Kotikramonu vartanya swabhavamiha yoshitaha Digmam batabudam swarte yadaham tvajitendriyaha. This woman, my wife, has adopted a mean that follows her nature, and therefore she is not to be blamed. But I am a man, therefore all condemnation upon me. I am not at all conversant with what is good for me, since I couldn't control my senses. This is actually the general nature of woman is enjoyment. It is a general nature actually. I'm not telling about the everyone. So that's why woman may provoke you, but you have to control. So if something happened, then what they will, so if both parties went and woman complains, then whose words will be accepted? Woman's words only. But she only provoked him, but still she will be given importance. This is even in the Indian justice also. Because man's duty is he has to control. Because who is intelligent? Man is intelligent. So that's why he has to control. So that's the point actually. So that's why Kashyapa is, so you see purport, the natural instinct of a woman is, to enjoy the material world. That is natural actually. Woman body is there for enjoyment. You know, even sex life also, they can get lot of enjoyment than the male. Chanakya says, and also they have a lot of hunger than the male, and they can eat so much. His body is for the enjoyment. Yes or no? Chanakya says, na, how many times? So, 9 times sex and how much time hunger? So, some 4 times or something is there. So that's why human body is there for the enjoyment. She induces her husband to enjoy this world by satisfying his tongue, belly, and genitals, which are called jihva, udara, and upastha. So this is that one line, jihva, you feed nicely to your tongue, then after nice food is coming, which is palatable to the tongue, then udara vegam also increases. Eat more, eat more. Then when we eat more, then our weight of this stomach will going down, and that is becoming weight on the genitals, and there is a pressure on the genitals, and then they will be getting the, after eating so much, definitely one will get the desire of doing sex. So that's why, so this is the logic. If woman, she can prepare nice food, you see, a woman is expert in cooking palatable dishes so that she can easily satisfy her husband in eating. So control is there fully in the hands of woman. She's having good skill and patience, nice variety of food she can prepare and feed that. Feed to the tongue and increase the belly, and there is a lot of strength for doing the sex, and he will be fully controlled by her. He will always control actually. After that, children, then for caring children also, she'll be then sending him to go and work and bring money and care my children. And like this, all the time she is only controlling. There is no spiritual life, less chance of spiritual life. If you got a greedy wife, then your life is out. Then there is no scope. It's very difficult actually. When one eats nicely, his belly is satisfied, and as soon as the belly is satisfied, the genitals become strong. So that's why if we eat more, then genitals will become more strong. Especially when a man is accustomed to eating meat and drinking wine and similar passionate things, he certainly becomes sexually inclined. If we eat this so palatable food, it's a dangerous for the sadhu's life. Definitely, it's dangerous. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, all the time, maybe 1 or 2 times for feast you did okay, but all the time if your tongue is asking this biryani, that biryani, this, that, I want this, I want this, I want this, every day special. So getting little post on the ISKCON, and then if you start asking every day, so new things, variety of things. so palatable things, it's not good actually. So sadhus, we can see some good examples, are so many actually. Sannyasis, they eat very less, where a lot of examples are there, very less and very soft, very clean and soft and sattvic and offered food they take. Otherwise we cannot balance actually. It's not so easy to balance the body. So it should be understood that sexual inclinations are meant not for spiritual progress but for gliding down to hell. Thus Kashyap Muni considered his situation as lamented. In other words, to be householder is very risky unless one is trained and the wife is a follower of her husband. Wife should be always in the mood of following, then it is easy. Otherwise, if she is greedy and she is controlled by other materialistic people, she is influenced by her friends, her friends are doing so much, that means luxurious life they are leading, and if she is influenced by them, then what will happen? Then her heart will be filled with a lot of lusty desires, material desires. Then she will definitely, so that means destroy all the Krishna conscious life in the family. Finish. It's very dangerous. During the time of brahmacharya or student life, brahmachari should be taught to be expert in Bhagavad Dharma devotional service. Then when he marries, if his wife is faithful to her husband and follows him in such a life, the relationship between husband and wife is very desirable. So that's why husband should be always controlling his senses. His wife is feeding so much and she is trying to control him through service and so many things, but he should be alert actually. Just आंख बंद करके बस मिल रहे हैं, बस खा रहे हैं, just whatever she is giving service, and just you are ignorantly like a blind sheep before cutting her head, so it will be decorated and fed with the nice food, nice grass, and decorated nicely with mala. Similarly, so wife also, she will be feeding all you and this, and then finally she may destroy your life. So she may ask for having a sexual intercourse which is not at all needed, and she may ask for the wealth, money, this you bring this gift, that gift, and you need to work more and spend a lot of energy for the material things. This may happen. So that's why husband always should be controlling his senses, otherwise he cannot progress. And he should control his senses, and he should try to lift the consciousness of his wife. And it's not like that, and he's giving everything control to her, and he is following her, and then she is following her friends and her other outside relatives, and they are all materialistic people. Then what will happen? Then whole life is hell, mess. If you give control to a child, now you are sitting in a car and 7 years, 5 years boy is there, and you made him to sit in the driver seat, and you are becoming passenger, then what will happen? You will definitely meet with the accident. Similarly, if you give control to your wife, everything, and you are following her, then it will be very dangerous. Sharat Padmotsavam Vaktram Vachascha Shravanamrutam Hrudayam Kshuradharabham Strinam Koveda Chestitam. A woman's face is as attractive and beautiful as blossoming lotus flower during autumn. Her words are very sweet and they give pleasure to ear. But if we study a woman's heart, we can understand it to be extremely sharp, like the blade of a razor. In these circumstances, who could understand the dealings of a woman? Kashyapa is repenting. What kind of such a great awkward situation he got now. So woman face is very beautiful, words also very sweet, but in the heart, what desire she is having, she may be having different intentions actually. And don't try to understand any woman, then that is simply your mistake actually. You cannot understand any woman. That's very difficult. Huh? Yeah. Purushasya bhagyam, striyaha charitra. Yeah. So that's why one should not unnecessarily waste the time. Sometimes youth, they think that, oh, I have to understand the woman nature, and so let me do friendship, this, that. Nothing. You will be ultimately with the zero result. You will come with. You will lose everything, all your chastity, all your money, all everything, and finally zero, big zero with you. So that's why. So follow the sadhu's life and follow the sadhus. Don't try to understand, which is very difficult. Some people, they take challenge and try to understand. Finally, they will not understand anything. So that's a scene the purport. Woman is now depicted very well from the materialistic point of view by Kashyap Muni. Women are generally known as the fair sex, and especially in youth, at the age of 16 or 17, women are very attractive to men. Therefore, a woman's face is compared to a blossoming lotus flower in autumn. Chandramukhi is like a Chandramukhi. Or otherwise, Padmamukhi is huh? Huh? Asurmukhi, no? Huh? Kosur? Therefore, a woman's face is compared to a blossoming lotus flower in autumn. Just as a lotus is extremely beautiful in autumn, a woman at the threshold of youthful beauty is extremely attractive. In Sanskrit, a woman's voice is called Nari Swara because women generally sing and their singing is very attractive. At the present moment, cinema artists, especially female singers, are especially welcome. Some of them earn fabulous amounts of money simply by singing. Therefore, as taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a woman's singing is dangerous because it can make a sannyasi fall a victim to the woman. So sannyasa means giving up the company of woman. But if a sannyasi hears the voice of woman and sees her beautiful face, he certainly becomes attracted and is sure to fall down. Sure to fall down. So many Matajis and yes, their beautiful voice, if keep on hearing, then songs. Secretary, all these are all very dangerous. Even for householder also. In our society. So also, yeah, we know. So there are big problems will come actually. Also coming. So it's very dangerous, even for brahmacharya, even service purpose. So धीरे धीरे आग तो लग जाएगा ना, चिंगारियां एक काफी है, धीरे 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 तो वो आग बढ़ के पूरा दहन कर देगा. Yes. तो इसीलिए, so even in the case of devotees, if you have too much intimate interaction with the woman, even if you are a grostha, if she is not your wife, and if you have close relationship, working relationship also, one day definitely it will explode into a like a atomic nuclear bomb. It will destroy everything, and not only them, and it will destroy who are connected to them also. All will be blasted like anything. Very soon it is going to happen. Everywhere it will happen actually. Okay. So that's why one should be careful about this. Therefore, a person desiring to advance in spiritual consciousness must be especially careful not to see a woman's face or hear a woman's voice. To see a woman's face and appreciate its beauty, or to hear a woman's voice and appreciate her singing as very nice, so is a suitable fall down for a brahmachari or a sannyasi. If you keep on watching woman's face, then definitely, especially who are there in our region. Maybe you are watching someone is in the videos or here and there, that's very less. But if you have such a problem in where you are staying, then it's very dangerous. You might be a great sadhaka, but slowly. Yeah. कुछ नहीं चल रहे हैं, बहुत गड़बड़ चल रहे हैं। नहीं, बाद में आएगा सब, रिजल्ट धीरे धीरे आएगा, एक के बाद एक आएगा.
Like in college, you see, husband, youths are there, na? Couples, they're sitting, talking together. They
Yeah.
appear low, so sages appear like sages, so
Yes.
controlled senses. And brahmachari becomes so fearful, hesitated, fearful, but appear like that they are so controlled. The similar way, people are living so intimately, closely, in serving, service, name of service, or appears like that. Does it? Nothing happens. Nothing happened. Why are you talking so much? Seriously.
Inside, inside.
How to understand? Then it becomes a standard. Low standard, standard. There's no standard.
Yes. So Prabhupada, who is writing? I am not writing anything. Na? Prabhupada is lines. I am just speaking. That's all. I don't have any. He is only writing. He is only telling whatever is written. I am speaking.
Hearing when we come across circumstance, how one should take. We are not become a stone. No
Yeah,
feeling,
solution
no
is like
innocence.
this actually. Yeah,
So
you are
then-
asking solutions. See, so that's why at least minimize the things. Prabhupada also said, I am asking you people to take risk of this. That means he kept actually boys and girls together in a temple, and so much risk he took, but it brought the advantage also. But gradually, the whatever principles are discussed in the Shastra, those has to be established. Those has to be established. But initially in the Western countries, when he started preaching, so there is no, this kind of strict rules will not function. So he made the adjustment, and then after that he separated the grihasthas, and he said that be in the community, and then no interaction with the others' wives, so much. So he gradually tried to brought. So that's why we have to reform the society like that. We should try to change our situation as in the progressive way. That means towards the standards we should progress. And whatever risk we are taking for the sake of preaching, that is acceptable. But these instructions, whatever we are discussing here, will alarm us while doing that kind of interactions. They will become alarm for you and for us, so that we will be cautious at that time. For that sake only we are strongly discussing this, so that we'll be cautious whenever we are going to deal. So any mataji or any woman, so then we will be, so be cautious. For that sake of for that purpose we are strongly discussing here. Otherwise, even if you don't discuss, let it be, okay, then what will happen at that time? You will not become alert actually while associating with the woman. Then the standards will go down actually. So now is the technology is demonic, but now we are easing, but the ultimate goal is what? We want to reform everything and try to bring to the such a situation where there is no sinful life and there is no demonic way of using the resources. So this is the goal, but gradually we should go to that direction. All of a sudden today I will be staying in the farm and without anything, so you cannot do that. So, but the desire is there, and endeavor is there, and we try to progress that direction. So we should try to bring the Vedic lifestyle, Vedic values. So try to avoid the more as much as possible interacting with the woman in the service also. As much needed, that much only you should speak, and after that simply keep quiet. And so sometimes you are a teacher, lot of females also will be students. Only whatever the need is there, that much only you speak and finish. So that you can reduce, minimize, and you should not expect control from their side. From the woman's side, you cannot expect control from the woman. You should not expect control from their side. What it mean, you know? That means you should not expect that they will be controlling themselves and so you will be safe. No. They will talk and they will show interest and they will speak with you, but you only has to control. Because the nature of the woman is automatically, what is the Prabhupada said? In general, what is the nature? What the line? Woman is, the natural instinct of woman is to enjoy the material world. So, purport number 40. The natural instinct of a woman is to enjoy the material world. So you should understand the Prakriti. It's not that every woman is Ananya Bhakta now, completely purified heart and now pure. No. Then it will be naturally, provocation will be there. So you have to control. If you want to progress, there is no option. And that's why ultimately Shastra everywhere says that man is responsible for his progress. Man is responsible for his own progress. Brahmachari and sannyasis, they should be alert only. And women and girls will be running behind you definitely. Every brahmachari will face this kind of things. Or every sannyasi also will face definitely these things. But you have to control. You cannot blame girl. That is their natural situation. And you should run and you should save yourself. Huh? Yeah, that is the situation actually. Because they are not equal. Na? You only saying they are not equal. Then how can you expect them very good thing from them? Then you should control yourself and be away. And that is only the solution. So that's why every sadhaka should be alert. But any number of alert will not work. Ultimately, whatever alert will be out. The ultimate is, so until unless the anarthas are not purified, the prarabdha, that means whatever is there, sukrutota, dushkrutota, anarthas, which are there in that heart, if those are not cleaned by the strong sadhana and by keeping alert himself, by not offending Vaishnavas and another aparadas, so your material attraction will come such a way due to previous offenses, it will smash your intelligence. It will smash our intelligence, completely destroy our intelligence, and it will stand on the top. You do this, that offense will dictate you actually. Offenses will dictate you. If you are getting strong urge for something, means you have strong offense actually in your heart, and work out on that. Like, see, great King Bharat Maharaj, Bhakti Nishta Chavaka Vastvantara Abhiniveshaha. You'll get such attraction because of the previous offenses. So, like you see, Daksha committed once again offense. One more, Chitraketu Maharaj committed offense. We should take two. Huh? Chitraketu did offense also, didn't do offense also. According to Jiva Goswami, okay, in the bracket, according to Jiva Goswami. So that's why just sometimes we give as a punishment of this, you change white or you do this. These are all temporary, there's nothing bogus. Only thing is you should give sufficient time for that sadhaka to clean his heart. Time and sufficient facility you should create. That is only the solution. Just by these temporary solutions, gadgets, taking out gadgets, nothing will happen. Parental control, child control, if nothing will work. Because should give proper counseling and proper atmosphere and do bhajan and try to reduce that. Yes. Yeah, real parental control. That is true. Yes. But I don't say it's completely useless, because of fear also. Many times everyone, I can assure that maximum number of people's heart is contaminated only. But only thing is, out of fear only we are saving ourselves, out of fear. Yes or no? Maximum. So that is also good. Fear, and also some things are not available. Yeah? Which you want in your heart, you have the desire, but it is not available. So that's why these means also will help. But otherwise, we can assure that in this situation, eating this kind of environment, most of the hearts are contaminated only. But we should endeavor. But so utsaha, dhairyat, nischayat, be determined, be enthusiastic, and be so patient, and do sadhana strongly, and fight as a soldier. Many times you will be getting attacked by the Maya, but still stood up and don't worry. You'll definitely reach back to the destination. You'll definitely win. but don't lose faith on the process. So with strong, firm faith, you chant the holy name. Holy name is having such a power, and definitely it will save you, 100%. So Krishna is waiting for us actually. And with full faith, we should, even all grihasthas, all brahmacharis, they should. So they should always endeavor with good hope, positive hope. So maybe you may sometimes get this kind of distractions. Don't worry about that, but don't make it as a habit. But it will happen. Accidents will happen, but it's not a great thing actually. Okay, you're understanding? So, but this is helping. These control, parental control, those will help. But the ultimate solution is what anartha is the cause for that distraction, that attraction for the woman, that you should clean. That is the real solution. If you want to clean, so some bubbles are coming on your body. So if you apply ointment on skin, then this is not going to become a permanent solution. The real solution is what? So purifying the blood. So just by external some patchwork, just by stopping this, that, and it is just a patchwork. But real solution is cleaning the heart, avoiding the offenses. So working on the already done offenses and fully taking the shelter of the holy name, and with full faith chanting holy names. And in this process, sometimes, so jalakta, that means some bad results keep on coming, but don't worry, but go. Don't leave the faith. Don't leave the enthusiasm. Don't leave the patience. Mortality. Sometimes our Krishna conscious movement is criticized for mingling men and women, but Krishna conscious is meant for anyone. Okay, sorry. When a woman's body features are attractive, when her face is beautiful and her voice is sweet, it's over, na? Which sloka we are discussing? I also forgot it. 41, na? Yeah. When her face is beautiful and when her voice is sweet, so she is naturally trapped for a man. Shastras advise that when such a woman comes to serve a man, she should be considered to be like a dark well covered by grass. So that's why Matajis generally will offer, Prabhuji, take prasadam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I want a question. I have a question, Prabhuji. When can I speak with you? They are natural actually, because that is Bhakti Maharani comes by the wearing the Maya Devi comes by wearing the sari of the devotion. It looks like that means externally devotee, but inside what desire they have, who knows? So that's why it's your duty. Whoever wants to be really a sannyasi and really want to be, especially brahmacharis, little bit consideration is there. For sannyasis, they should be very strict actually. They should be always in alert mode actually, in full alert in every second, in every action, in every instant, from all the directions they should be alert. So that's why if any woman is coming to you coming to serve you, then you should consider it as a dark well covered by grass. Looking like grass, but it's a deep dark well. After falling into that, and all the bones will be broken. Okay, in the fields there are many such wells, and a man who doesn't know about them drops through the grass and falls down. Thus there are many such instructions. So that's why, whose responsibility is this? So the passenger responsibility or the well responsibility? Passenger responsibility. Passenger should not go to dark well. So similarly, so woman is approaching, then whose responsibility? It's the man's responsibility. Sometimes you may get such a difficult situation. So sometimes, yeah, our intelligence also will be bewildered. So you also might be thinking, oh, I am doing preaching, oh, I am doing service along with this Mataji, and slowly, that will become, it will take the new shape. It will be turning into the new attraction. And it's very dangerous. Your life will be in a risky actually. Then once if you develop the intimate relationship with the woman and you are discussing so much with her, and definitely one day you'll get the result of that. It turned into the material attraction. So that's why even all the great sannyasis also, they don't take any risk of free mixing with the woman. No, never. Even such exalted sannyasis, they are very much alert. What about these chitku putku brahmacharis? How much alert they should be? They should be even alert more than us, because they are old people, 60s, 70s, still they're so alert. You go and see Maharajas, they never speak with any woman alone in the room also. They don't maintain any messages, they don't conversation, no conversation. Only their secretary will taking care. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. In the fields, there are many such. Okay. Okay, Bapre, time chale ja raha hai. Sometimes our Krishna consciousness movement is criticized for mingling men and women, but Krishna consciousness is meant for anyone. So whether one is man or woman doesn't matter. Lord Krishna personally says, Striyo Vaishyas Tata Sudrastepi Yanti Param Gatim. Whether one is woman, Sudra or Vaishya, not to speak of being a Brahman or Kshatriya, everyone is fit to return home back to Godhead. If we strictly follow the instructions of the spiritual master and Shastra, we therefore request all the members of Krishna conscious movement, both men and women, not to be attracted by bodily features, but only to be attracted by Krishna. Then everything will be all right. Otherwise, there will be danger. Definitely, Prabhupada is experimenting, and so at least few Jivatmas will become strong and they will take movement. So, 10 patthar फेंकेंगे तो 5 तो लग जाएगा ना. But there is no hope for the society. He has to take that step only. So that's why he allowed. But his intention is ultimately he wants to follow all the instructions of Shastra strictly only. He wants to see those things are being implemented in the due course of the time. So okay, nahi kaschit priya strinam anjasa swashishatmanam patim putram brataram va gnantyarthe gnatayanti cha. To satisfy their own interest, women deal with men as if the men were most dear to them. But no one is actually dear to them. Women are supposed to be very saintly, but for their own interest, they can kill even their husband, sons, or brothers, or cause them to be killed by others. See, this is a fact. Who is speaking? The learned man, Kashyapa. So he is speaking. Kaschit priyah strinam. No one is dear actually. For women, no one is dear. In general, bracket in general. I don't say everyone. In general, so this is a fact actually. Women deal with men as if the men were most dear to them. And also she shows she doesn't have any attraction, but still says, oh, you are my life and you, मैं तो आपके लिए पूरा जीवन दे दिया. They say like that actually. They say that. But what did you do for me? You didn't do anything. Then कुत्ते की तरह just पूंछ हिलाते हुए जाएंगे पीछे पीछे. बस मिल गया. तब दिखाएंगे पूरा एकदम. But no one is actually dear to them. Women are supposed to be very saintly, but for their own interest, they can kill even their husbands. क्या बचा? कुछ नहीं. Woman nature has been particularly well studied by Kashyap Muni. Prabhupada is telling. Women are self-interested by nature. By nature, they are selfish. Women are by nature, they are always selfish. And therefore, they should be protected by all means so that their natural inclination to be self-interested will not be manifested. That's why they has to be controlled. Otherwise, their selfishness will reach to the heights of the sky actually. Then whole society will be finished. Women need to be protected by men. A woman should be cared for by her father in her childhood, by her husband in her youth, and by her grown sons in her old age. This is the injunction of Manu, who says that a woman should not be given independence at any stage. Women should not be given independence at any stage. Women must be cared for so that they will not be free to manifest their natural tendency for gross selfishness. There have been many cases, even in the present day, in which women have killed their husbands to take advantage of their insurance policies. My God. This is not a criticism of women, but a particular study of their nature. See, Prabhupada is the Prabhupada actually. So that's why we should not. Nowadays, people are very. That means that they are not speaking the words of Prabhupada very boldly. They are twisting. And they are just doing the makeup. Why you should do makeup? Fact is fact. You speak whatever Prabhupada spoke as it is. Prabhupada is poor person and you are not Prabhupada. So that's why you should not make your own philosophy. You are the postman of the Prabhupada. So you should carry the words whatever spoke by Prabhupada as it is. So see, women must be care. Okay, next. Insurance. This is not a criticism. So that's why any woman should not feel bad actually. This is the nature. They should also understand and they should try to become Krishna consciousness. If you don't accept the fact and if you don't work on that nature, if you don't try to come beyond the material modes, then you cannot progress. So that's why everyone should understand what is the situation, their own situation, and try to progress. So such a natural instincts of women or a man are manifested only in the bodily conception of life. When either a woman or a man or a woman is advanced in spiritual consciousness, the bodily conception of life particularly vanishes. We should see all women as spiritual units whose only duty is to satisfy Krishna. So also men also should not develop the disrespect for the woman. If you see someone is in the problem and someone is in the lower situation, you should help them, but you should not criticize them. You should not disrespect them. Then you will get problem. Because of that disrespect, because of that offense, if they are devotees, then if you offend, then because of that offense, then you will develop the material attraction. So that's why whoever hate so much women, they will also offending them and creating the offenses which lead for the material attraction. So that's why whenever you understand the problem of someone, then try to help, but try to condemn, but don't try to condemning them. Then the influence of the different modes of material nature which result from one's possessing the material body will not act. The Krishna conscious movement is so beneficial that it can be very easily counteract the contamination of material nature which result from one's possessing a material body. Bhagavad Gita therefore teaches in very beginning that whether one is a man or a woman, one must know that he or she is not a body but spiritual soul. Everyone should be interested in the activities of the spirit soul, not the body. As long as one is activated by the bodily conception of life, there is always a danger of being misled, whether one is a man or woman. Okay, next sloka. So, write a question. So, please describe the deliberation of Kashyapa on what? On the control, done by Diti. on is there, na? After that, open double quotes. So in the double quotes, you keep this control done by Diti. Okay, control done by. You can write 10 marks question. So you should describe these 40. Yeah, how he is deliberating actually. So I came into the attraction of this woman, and woman nature is this. Or otherwise you will do, so you will do like this. So please write, please describe the deliberation of Kashyapa on the nature of woman. It's simple actually. Then it is very, remove that. On control of Diti, you remove that. On the nature of woman. Okay, 10 marks. Next. प्रतिश्रुतं ददामीति वचस्तन्न मृषा भवेत् वदं नार्हति चेन्द्रोऽपि तत्रेदमुपकल्पते. I promise to give her benediction, and this promise cannot be violated, but Indra doesn't deserve to be killed. In these circumstances, the solution I have is quite suitable. So actually, he already gave promise to Diti, and also he should not kill Indra also. So then solution, he's bringing the solution now. Iti samchintya bhagavan maricha kuru nandana uvacha kinchit kupita atmanam cha vigarhayan. So Sukadeva Goswami said, Kashyap Muni, thinking in this way, became somewhat angry, condemning himself. O Maharaj Parikshit, descendant of Kuru, he spoke to Diti as follows. So Sri Kashyapa uvacha पुत्रस्ते भविता भद्रे इंद्रहा देव बांधवः संवत्सरं व्रतं विदं यद्यञ्जो धारयिष्यसि. So Kashyap Muni said, my dear gentle wife, if you follow my instructions regarding this vow for at least 1 year, you will surely get a son who will be able to kill Indra. However, if you deviate from this vow of following the Vaishnava principles, you will get a son who will be favorable to Indra. Because he knows Diti cannot follow those Vaishnava principles because she is always in the Rajoguna. Already you saw how she was passionate when she got desire for giving the birth to the Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha story you have seen. So definitely she cannot follow, and she is going to get the Indraha. Indraha means, so Indraha refers to an Asura who is always eager to kill Indra. And enemy of Indra is naturally a friend to the Asuras. But the word Indraha also refers to the one who follows Indra or who is obedient to him. Han Dhatu is having two meanings, following and killing. Indraha means the killer of Indra, or otherwise Indraha means so who follows Indra. So that's why you should take the here the meaning of Indraha means follow. He is putting a condition. Yedi anjo dharayishyasi vratam idam samvatsaram. If you follow this vrata for 1 year, then you will get the Indraha, he said. That means if she doesn't follow, she is going to get the reverse. So that's why. So then that Indraha word meaning you should take a follower of Indra. And next one is Deva Bandavaha. You can do Sandhi. Indraha plus Deva Bandavaha. Deva Bandavaha. That means Indraha, Deva Bandavaha are equivocal for the saying your son will kill Indra, and but he will be very friendly to demigods. So you do the Sandhi. Indraha plus Deva Bandavaha, or otherwise Indraha plus Adeva Bandavaha. That means if you take Indraha plus Deva Bandava, he is the follower of Indra and he is the friend of Devatas. Yeah. Okay. So like this, you can now make the question. What are the two different meanings of Indraha and no. What is the two different meanings? I don't know. No. Yes, What are the two different kinds of meanings can be derived for Indraha Deva Bandavaha? So Indraha Deva Bandavaha, I am taking one. Indraha Deva Bandavaha. I am taking as one. So this is a one word. So now what you should do? You do, so you divide into Sandhi, Indraha plus Deva Bandavaha, then he is the follower of the Indra, and so is the Bandava, is a relative of Devatas. Then you do another thing, Indraha plus Adeva Bandavaha, so he is the follower of the, or he is the relative of the Adevatas, means Asuras, and so he is the killer of Indra. Like this you should. So write the two different meanings of Indraha Deva Bandavaha. The two different possible meanings of, or possible interpretations. Like, so final question is, please write the two possible interpretations of Indraha Deva Bandavaha. Okay, 2 marks, 2 marks. Okay, next. Ditiruvacha Dharayishe Vratam Brahman Bruhi Karyani Yani Me Yani Cheha Nishiddhani Navratam Granti Yanyuta. Diti replied, my dear Brahmana, I must accept your advice and follow the vow. Now let me understand what I have to do, what is forbidden and what will not be break the vow. Please clarify. So state all this to me. So Diti is asking, tell me then. Shri Kashyapa nahi himsyad bhuta jatani na shapet na nrutam vadet na chindyan na karomani na sushed yadamangalam. Kashyapa Muni said, my dear wife, to follow this vow, don't be violent or cause harm to anyone, don't curse anyone, and don't speak lies, don't cut your nails and hair, and don't touch impure things like skulls and bones. Napsu snanayat na kupyet na snayat na kupyeta na sambhasheta durjanai navasita dhautavasaha srajam cha vidrutam kvachit. Kashyap Muni continued. So, my dear gentle wife, never enter the water while bathing, never be angry, and don't even speak or associate with wicked people. Never wear clothes that have not been properly washed, and don't put on a garland that has already been worn. No chistam chindakannam cha samashisham rushalahrutam Bunjitodakyaya drishtam pibenanjalina tvapaha. Translation. Never eat leftover food. Never eat prasada offered to the goddess Kali. And don't eat anything contaminated by flesh or fish. Don't eat anything brought or touched by a Sudra, nor anything seen by a woman in her menstrual period. Don't drink water by joining your palms. Is there any another commentary on this? So he is giving these are all conditions. So she has to follow while doing that vrata, 1 year vrata. Udakyaya means by a woman in her menstrual period. So whatever food is seen by her, that should not be eaten. Okay, next what he said. So neochishta sprishta salila sandhyaya mukta murdaja anarchita samyata vak na samvita bahicharet. After eating, you should not go out to the street without having washed your mouth, hands and feet. You should not go out in the evening or with your hair loose, nor should go out unless you are properly decorated with ornaments. You should not leave the house unless you are very grave and are sufficiently covered. These are all for everyone in devotees case. Whatever the rules are set by the Kashyapa should be followed by all the devotees, since we are always in the vrata. Yeah, because these are all dangerous for following one, because we are all vrata of Krishna consciousness. So that's why for us, this is a common, natural for us. So Kashyapuni advised his wife not to go to out and in the street unless she was well decorated and well dressed. He didn't encourage the mini skirts that have now become fashionable. In Oriental civilization, when a woman goes out onto the street, she must be fully covered so that no man will recognize who she is. All these methods are to be accepted for purification. If one takes to Krishna consciousness, one is fully purified, and thus one remains always transcendental to the contamination of the material world. Nadhauta pada prayata narda pada udakshira shaitana parangan yairna nagna nacha sandhyayo. You should not lie down without having washed both of your feet or without being purified, nor with wet feet or with your head pointed west or north. You should not lie naked. You should not lie naked or with other women or during the sunrise or sunset. Dautavasa suchirnityam sarva mangala samyuta pujayet pratarashat prago viprancha shiyamachutam. Putting on washed clothing, being always pure, and being adorned with the turmeric, sandalwood pulp, and other auspicious items. Before breakfast, one should worship the cows, the Brahmanas, the goddess of fortune, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, you all will be having now 3:15 at the time of 3:15. So, Kanai Prabhu is going to take this some orientation class for your presentations. You may ask your doubts for what is the preaching application, personal application. No, he is coming on online at 3:15. I will stop wherever I will stop, and whatever remaining portion I will cover on the Tuesday. Tuesday I can easily finish the 19th and remaining chapter of this. It's not a big difficult. Yeah, yeah. That's the last chapter is very small chapter, so it doesn't need the whole 2.5 hours. So any slokas are remaining in this, so I will finish in that class. So that I'll be continued till 3:15. So he'll be coming by 3:15 on the online. So he will be explaining to all of you whatever questions you have about the presentations and also about the Bhagavatam class. If people ask how the assessment is done, how much time for what, all the doubts you please ask. Okay. Okay, we'll continue our class till 3:15. He discussed already, but some devotees asked, that's why. So we are going to have this class from 3:50 onwards, that session. If someone is very much clear, he doesn't want, he can leave also at 3:15. But who has questions? And after that, you should not say that, Arey Prabhu, I don't know this, I don't know that. No. So you get clarification now itself very clearly. Okay. So in other words, a civilization in which there is no respect for the cows and Brahmanas is condemned. One cannot become spiritually advanced without acquiring the Brahmanical qualification giving protection to cows. Cow protection ensures sufficient food prepared with milk, which is needed for an advanced civilization. One should not pollute civilization by eating the flesh of cows. A civilization must do something progressive, and then it is an Aryan civilization. Instead of killing the cows to eat flesh, civilized men must prepare various milk products that will enhance the condition of society. So that's why instead of killing and eating the cows, if you protect the cows and from the milk, the society will be more and more become sattvic, and they will be progressing in the spiritual life, and there will be more and more peace. Striyo Veravatischar चार्चेत स्रग बलिमंडनैः पतिं चार्योपतिष्ठेत ध्यायेत् कोष्ठगतं च तम्. With flower garland, sandalwood pulp, ornaments, and other paraphernalia, a woman following this vow should worship woman. A woman following this vow should worship women who have sons and whose husbands are living. The pregnant wife should worship her husband and offer him prayers. She should meditate upon him, thinking that he is situated in her home. In the child in the womb is a part of husband's body. Therefore, the husband, through his representative, indirectly remains within the womb of her pregnant wife. Samvatsaram pumsavanam vratametadaviluplutam dharayishyasi chetubhyam shakraha bhavata sutta. Kashyap Muni continued, if you perform this ceremony called Pumsavana, adhering to the vow with faith for at least 1 year, you will give birth to a son destined to kill Indra. But if there is any discrepancy in discharge of these vows, the son will be a friend to Indra. Badamityabhyupeta petyatha diti rajan mahamanah kashyapad garbhamadatta vratam chancho dadharasa. King Parikshit, Diti, the wife of Kashyapa, agreed to undergo the purificatory process known as Pumsavana. Yes, she said, I shall do everything according to your instructions. With great jubilation, she became pregnant, having taken semen from Kashyapa and faithfully began discharging the vow. Matrushvas Matrushvasura Biprayam Indra Agnaya Manada Susrushanena Shramastham Ditim Paryacharat Kavihi. O king, so who are respectable to everyone, Indra understood Diti's purpose and thus he contrived to fulfill his own interest. Following the logic that self-preservation is the first law of nature, he wanted to break Diti's promise. Thus, he engaged himself in the service of Diti, his aunt, who was residing in an ashram. So Indra is understanding, my God, Diti is doing this vrata, Pumsavana vrata, so to produce a child who is going to kill me. So that's why, so Diti is his auntie, Masi, auntie. So following the logic that self-preservation is the first law of nature. So what he is going to do, you see, to break her rule. Nityam vana sumanasaha phula moola samit kushan putrankuram rudo pascha kale kala upaharat. Indra served his aunt daily by bringing flowers, fruits, roots, and wood for yagnas from the forest. He also brought kusha grass, leaves, sprouts, earth, and water exactly at the proper time. Evam tasya vratasthaya vrtachidram harirnupa prepsuhu paryacharajjihumo mrugahevam Murga Krutihi, O King Parikshit, as the hunter of a deer became like a deer, so by covering his body with the deer skin and serving the deer, so Indra, although at heart the enemy of the sons of Diti, became outwardly friendly and served Diti in faithful way. Indra's purpose was to cheat Diti as soon as he could find some fault in the way she discharged the vows of the ritualistic ceremony. However, he wanted to be undetected and therefore he served her very carefully. So, Nadyagachadvratchidram tatparo thamahipate chintam tivram gata shakraha kena me syachivam tviya. O master of the entire world, when Indra could find no faults, he thought, how will there be good fortune for me? Thus he was full of deep anxiety. Ekada satu sandhyayam uchishta vrata karshita asprishtavarya dhautangri shushwapa vidimohita. Having grown weak and thin because of strictly following the principles of the vow, Diti once unfortunately neglected to wash her mouth, hands, and feet after eating and went to sleep during the evening twilight. मिल गया. What Kashyapa said, after eating, before going to bed, she should wash all the hands and legs, everything, and mouth. Then only she should sleep. And also with wet hands and legs, she should not sleep. Nicely drying, and then she should sleep. But she broke that. Labdva tadantaram shakro nidrapahruta chetasah ditehi pravishta udaram yogesho yoga mayaya. Finding this fault, Indra, who was all the mystic powers, the yoga siddhis such as anima and lagima, entered Diti's womb while she was unconscious, being fast asleep. A perfectly successful yogi is expert. Okay, next. Chakarta saptada garbham vajrena kanaka prabham rudantam saptadaukam marodhiriti tan punah. After entering Diti's womb, Indra, with the help of his thunderbolt, cut into 7 pieces her embryo, which appeared like glowing gold in 7 places. So 7 different living beings began crying. Indra told them, don't cry. And then he cut each of them into 7 pieces again. Then to 7 into 7, 29. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura remarks that Indra, by his yogic power, first expanded the body of the one Marut into 7. And then when he cut each of the 7 parts of the original body into pieces, there were 49. When each body was cut into 7, other living entities entered the new bodies. And thus they were like plants, which become separate entities when cut into various parts and planted on a hill. The first body was one, and when it cut into many pieces, many other living entities entered the new bodies. So he cut, and so other in that womb there are so many living entities are there. So even all the in the form of worms and in the form of many ways, all those living entities enter there. Like this, total 49. That is the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. You can see. So okay, next. तमूचु पट्यमानास्ते सर्वे प्राञ्जलयो नृपा किं न इन्द्रजिगांससि भ्रातरो मरुतस्तव. O king, being very much aggrieved, they pleaded to Indra with folded hands and saying, dear Indra, we are the Maruts, your brothers. Why are you trying to kill us? Ma bhaishta भ्रातरो मह्यं यूयमित्याह कौशिकः Ananya Bhavan Parshadan Atmano Marutam Ganan. When Indra saw that actually they were his devoted followers, he said to them, if you are all my brothers, you have nothing more to fear from me. So all the politics happened and the compromise is there. Namama Raditer Garbha Srinivasanu Kampaya Bahuda Kula Sakshunno Draunyastrena Yatha Bhavan. Sukadeva Goswami said, my dear King Parikshit, you are born by the Brahmastra of Aswathama. But when the Lord Krishna entered the womb of your mother, you were saved. Similarly, although the one embryo was cut into 49 pieces by the thunderbolt of Indra, but they were all saved by the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sakrudishtva purusham purusho yati samyatam samvatsaram kinchet nyunam ditya yaddarirachitaha sajurindrena paschat devanste maruto bhavan vyapohya matrudosham te harina somapah kruta. If one worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original person, even once he receives the benefit of being promoted to the spiritual world and possessing the same bodily features as Vishnu. Diti worshipped Lord Vishnu for almost 1 year, adhering to a great vow. because of such a strength in spiritual life, the 49 Mars were born. How? When is it wonderful that the Mars, although born from the womb of Diti, became equal to the demigods by the mercy of Supreme Lord. So they all came from, yeah. So since she did Pumsumna Vrata, so that means worshipping of Vishnu she did for this 1 year. Because of this, that Indra was not able to kill those Mars, that baby, and it became 7, and 7 it became 49. So, and also they all became devotees. Actually, here one commentary is going to come. Where is that? Array. I think we skipped that. One big commentary was there, little big. Okay. Ditiruthaya dadrusho kumaranalala prabhan indrena saitan devi paryutushyadanindita. Because of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Diti was completely purified. When she got up from bed, she saw her 49 sons along with Indra. So 49 plus Indra also, she is there. Indra is also there. So though these 49 sons were all as brilliant as 5 and were in friendship with Indra, and therefore she was very pleased. So since she worshipped the Lord, what we read, so if anyone is doing the tamasika bhakti, so what we learn, so here this story is example for what? This story is example for, so how the tamasika bhakti is purifying the heart. So it is purifying the heart, Diti's heart is purified, and also, so her desire is also, desire of killing the Indra is also changed. And she became now happy by seeing Indra along with her sons, 49 sons. Okay. So this is the example for how tamasika bhakti will help. That means that's why anyone worship the Vishnu even with the will. That means, so with the ill intentions, but bhakti, and the results of those bhakti will be very auspicious, and those will be purifying, and they are giving the auspicious results. Okay. So we'll end our discussion here because Prabhuji already, so he came on to online. So till 68 we finished. So 69 onwards we'll discuss on Tuesday class. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow you have holidays. That means generally we are conducting class for Saturday and Sunday also. No, but you have holiday because Nirjala Ekadasi, and Sunday you go for preparation, and Monday you have exam for the 6th kind of 1 to 10 chapters, first 10 chapters. Okay, that you prepare well and right. And Tuesday we will be meeting back and we'll finish this little portion, whatever is pending in this chapter, 18 chapter, and also 19 chapter also will finish total. So within 2.5 hours, we don't need any extra time. So 15th onwards, so then Prabhuji scheduled already for the presentations. So on-site students, they have presentations and also Bhagavatam class that will be done. And online students, they can prepare for the next exam, and also they should prepare for their own presentations. Okay, now I will be giving the over, that means mine is over. So I will be giving control to Prabhuji so he can start addressing the students. Yeah, you can unmute him. So recording also, you keep recording open. That means, and students, yeah. So whatever doubts you have about the presentations, how to give presentation, marking this, that, everything you can discuss and come to know from him. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Venugopal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So, am I audible clearly? Am I audible or no?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, okay, Hare Krishna. So, my humble obeisances to all of you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Okay, so I have been asked to speak about the sort of give a reorientation on the presentation aspect. So first and foremost, the first set of presentations, the results are ready for because of my personal engagements and also because of some files pending from guest judges. So it took some time, but the presentation results are ready and they will be shared with you in over this weekend now. And next set of presentations, we have already announced to you the documents, the topics, and most of you have chosen also your topics for presentation as well as Bhagavatam verses. So in case anybody has still not chosen, so please personally you can write to me your topic and uh, your verse for presentation. The file of the choices it's shared. The finalized choices also I can share today again. So then you know which all has been taken before, so that you take another verse and presentation topic. Okay. So for the on-site students, we are having presentations from 15th, 16, 17, 18. So schedule for that also, we will share it today. So for the online students, we will have presentations only in July, in the first week of July. So for that, schedule will be announced later. But you can be prepared because it will be July, first week of July. Okay. So you have anyway informed your choices, so you can go ahead and start making your presentations or preparation for Bhagavad classes also. Okay. The OBS plan is the second and third cantos OBS. They are submitted already. Most of you have submitted and they are getting checked. The results will be soon coming out. The plan is that the rest of the three cantos OBAs, you can start working on them after your portion gets completed, meaning the teaching gets completed. It's about to get completed now. So we are planning to give some amount of time after the course is over for completing that OBA. So around end of July, we are planning to give the time. So by end of which you can submit all the essays, and then we results, taking the results and ahead and all, then we can present all this to board of exams for your certificate. So the pending evaluations, especially the open books, they will be done after your teaching is getting over. Shloka books as well as OBA presentation. So in next 1.5 month, we will close out all these things so that we can send your results further to board of exams and then apply for certification. Okay. So here today, quite quickly, it may not take much time. I will just try to again give some points on how the individual presentation and Srimad Bhagavatam class is judged. Some of you had expressed that you have confusion over personal application and preaching application and mood and mission, what to talk in it, how much time to talk about it, and other general aspects of presentation. So that is why we are having this presentation. Okay. So just sharing. Okay, I have to share the screen. So maybe Atul Gopal Prue, can you make me the host? Yeah, thank you. So see, this is the document of individual presentation guidelines. There was some confusion last time over is it a 45 minutes presentation or 50-minute? Because I think from my side only, I shared old document and also a new document, something like that happened. So, okay, now this document, I will again post it also on the group. we go ahead with this document. This is the new format. So student is supposed to prepare a 50-minute presentation total on a selected topic. So the topics are already given to you. The verses are also sent to you in the file. I sent a file on the group which has all the verses which are there in your shloka memorization, plus some additional verses are there. So for presentation, please use that file. Don't use the shloka memorization file because it has less number of verses. The file which I sent on the group saying these are the shlokas for presentation, that is what you should be using. Okay. So the presentation is a 50-minute presentation, including everything. What can be the general timeline? 5 minutes prayers, 35 minutes presentation, and 10 minutes question answer. This way. So we will expect that you will present 5 plus 35, 40 minutes presentation. After that, 10 minutes question answers. Depends, if you get many questions, then you may exhaust all the time for question answers. Or if you don't get many questions, then you may just finish it, whatever, 1 or 2 questions you got. Okay. But 40 minutes expectation is there for presentation. So please make sure you utilize this time. It's not that you have to end before time, in the sense, do not utilize all the 40 minutes. If you don't have to feel like that okay, if I finish in 35 or 40 minutes, it shows a great time efficiency. No, it doesn't. You should use complete 40 minutes time, because you have good amount of time to present a topic. So if you just finish in 20, 25, 30 minutes, then you could have utilized remaining 10 minutes for giving even more impactful session. So same thing for Bhagavatam class and presentation. Here I mean individual presentation, meaning it is for both Bhagavatam class also, exactly similar format, and presentation also. So please utilize your time. From last time's experience, please keep a watch on time yourself. Here it's not expected that somebody is supposed to be a timekeeper for you and then keep on reminding you, oh, 10 minutes remaining, 5 minutes remaining, 2 minutes remaining. No, that is not expected. You yourself manage your time. Once you are done with presentation, so then the evaluator will see how much time you have utilized. But there need not be any expectations of giving you a reminder or something. Okay. Last time some of the students were feeling like that. Oh, we were never told that only 2 minutes are remaining. No, that is not the job of the judges. That is not the job of organizers. That is something which you yourself should be keeping the track of. Okay, so 40 minutes presentation includes 5 minutes prayers, basic introduction, singing prayers, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, whatever, all that. And then 35 minutes you give solid for presentations. Okay. Finally, 10 minutes question answers. Okay. So in this, introduce your topic to the audience. Last time we spoke about this idea, introducing in the beginning, give a synopsis of your topic. That can be done even in the Bhagavatam. Actually, after your recitation of verse is done, you have read the translation, you have read the purport. Just beginning, before you start explaining, you may give a synopsis saying that in this purport, Prabhupada has focused on these all points. So in today's present in Bhagavatam class, we will discuss 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 themes. So that is a good way of giving a synopsis even in a Bhagavatam class, for that matter. These are some suggested practices. If you don't do exactly this way, it is okay, but these are some of the best practices, so they can be utilized that way. Okay. So other aspects, you know about it, beginning the presentation by some interesting story, finishing and starting and finishing on time, especially for presentation, use some facilitation methods, brainstorming, whole class discussion, group discussion, etc. Last time we saw that most of you had prepared a PowerPoint, and then that's all. Some of you did utilize all these other aspects of facilitation methods, but many were stuck up, glued to their PowerPoint, just trying to finish off the slides that way. Even a point about PowerPoint presentation, that you don't have to have too many slides actually. For a presentation of 40 minutes, what do you think? How many slides should be there? For a presentation of 40 minutes, you may have around, 15 slides, 10 to 15 slides. That's more than enough actually. You explain the slides. It need not be like 60 slides for 40 minutes presentation or something like that. Then people are just looking at the slides one after another. So let the slide be there, staying for some time, and you meanwhile go on explaining. Then you move on to the next slide, something like that. Okay. In fact, lesser the number of slides, even in outside world, that they consider it to be a more powerful presentation, which has a lesser number of slides, which are more thought-provoking that way. Okay. So a penalty of 5% marks for late starting and finishing, especially if it is from the student side. If it is from organizer sides only, or sometimes for some reason, if we didn't have judges coming on time, so that is understood. But if the student is only missing without giving a prior intimation, so then there will be a penalty of 5% in your overall score. Okay, so individual presentation assessment format, it is already shared with you, these things, and just sort of again going through it. Presentation skills has that's the marks, 15 marks are there. So all these aspects of speaking clearly, effective eye contact, and time management. Understanding is the heart of your presentation or Bhagavatam plus. So understanding has 35 marks. So you can say that 35 marks, this is the biggest section of entire presentation. So as a rough timeline, see, there need not be exact ratio proportion corresponding to number of marks and the time for presentation. Like you have 100 marks presentation, and so 40 minutes for presenting that. So calculate for every mark how much time, like that. It need not be like that, but understanding aspect is major in presentation or Bhagavatam class. So 35 marks, you can at least spend, in your 40 minutes presentation, you spend around 20 to 25 minutes for understanding section. You can see that way. At least 50% time you can spend on understanding section itself, understanding section, explaining that, because 35 marks, they are there. Practically, if you see presentation skills have 15 marks, and the humility thread has 10 marks, so 25 are gone. Remaining is 75. Out of 75, 35 marks are for understanding only. So that's why 50% time you can surely spend on understanding this section. At least 50%. It can be even more, I would say. 25 minutes can also be spent on giving a clear understanding of the topic. Okay, like that. Then this is the main section in which you analyze the whole verse, give its philosophical points, Sanskrit verses, quote from memory, analyze that topic. Prabhupada's purport can be analyzed here very nicely in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4 themes of that purport. So all that comes under understanding section. Okay. Then you have preaching applications. So here, many of the devotees are confused on what is preaching application. Last time we had explained it to in some manner, but I think still probably that was not understood. So see, preaching application, this term itself also is seen or interpreted a little differently within our educational setup. Sometimes there are different understanding of what is preaching application. I want to tell you what we are looking here at IBMV. When we say preaching application, what is that we are looking for? So identify points, concepts, or issues particularly relevant for contemporary preaching. From the section that you are teaching, the presentation that you have, or the verses or the verse that you are taking for your Bhagavatam presentation. So based on the ideas presented in that verse or the presentation, you have to speak about certain points or concepts which are relevant in contemporary preaching. Okay, what are the points relevant for preaching? If you were to preach, like take an example, we will take an example. You have this topic of, in the presentation topics, cultivating tolerance, right? I think that's the first topic, cultivating tolerance and controlling anger. That. So now if you take this topic, what is the preaching application? So how is this topic relevant for contemporary preaching? That is what you will have to speak over here. Contemporary preaching, mean if you were to speak it to outsiders, to the non-devotee audience whom you want to turn them into devotees, you want to make them accept Krishna consciousness. So that is what is preaching, right? So in terms of preaching for contemporary audience, how is this issue relevant? So like tolerance, is it relevant in the modern context or whatever, today's postmodern context? Controlling anger, do you see the relevance in contemporary preaching of this particular thing? Yes, we do see relevance, right? There is tolerance needed in even the relationships. There is tolerance needed in any kind of scenario, right? There is tolerance, like we see that these days, because of not having proper tolerance in relationships, the relationships are breaking so much. People cannot tolerate each other. So even on a very petty reason, so relationships are breaking. So for people to show the importance of tolerance, you have to speak at the wavelength which they understand, isn't it? Or even you see aspects like anger, even in the students, they getting angry, and so many cases are there where students are angry and they do some violence in the schools, colleges, or they speak abusive words to the teachers. This sort of tolerance in relationship or tolerance, the anger aspects and all in these different social aspects, they are needed actually. So that is a preaching application. Uh, it is needed even at national level, right? Where some another countries slight transgression is not tolerated, or we can see that lack of tolerance in religious tolerance. So because there is lack of tolerance in religious matters, so then there on the religious grounds there is fights, wars. On social grounds, on economical grounds, lack of tolerance or giving, over giving to the anger, how it has led to very great destruction. So that is preaching application. You take this point and speak at a level which is relevant for even the outside audience. This is not where we are talking about relevance for Vaishnavas, right? That is more personal application. It will come. But this is more for the contemporary audience, contemporary preaching. So once you establish the need of tolerance or the need of controlling anger, by talking about educational level, social level, relationship level, political level, all these levels, then you can make people understand or make people go deeper into, yes, okay, there is need of tolerance, there is need of controlling all this anger and all. So then now you practically speak about it. What does the Shastra say about controlling anger? What is Shastric method? What are Shastra steps for somebody to cultivate these qualities? Because they are also trying on their own, but how those means are failing, while how Shastra gives the solution, which is more, which is deeper, which is addressing the root problem. So we can open up the topic now in that manner. But first and foremost, identifying itself for contemporary preaching. This we have to do. So in preaching application, when we say it's not so much theological application to counteract some argument. See, that is also another understanding of preaching application, which is there prevalent in many places, that you take a philosophical point and counter a philosophical doubt. But we are not talking at this level, actually. We are talking here more in terms of issues or concepts, points, which are applicable in preaching scenario for the non-devotee audience also. Okay. Jai Gopinath Prabhu, you want to ask something? Yeah, Jai Gopinath Prabhu, you raised hand. Please speak up.
Yes, Guru. Prabhu, is that not a preaching application on the devotee level also? Instead of maybe we may talk to newcomers, in the sense that who are coming for few weeks or few months. Such audience sometimes we speak, and that kind of thing also comes under this preaching application.
Prabhu, see, point is, what is preaching? If you discuss this particular aspect only, what is preaching? So preaching can be sharing Krishna consciousness. Now, what is the audience? The audience can be brand new, 1 month old, 1 year old, 10-year-old, 25-year-old, 50-year-old in bhakti. Everything is preaching, right? So if you take that kind of wholesome, all accommodating idea of preaching, basically everything is preaching in that sense. But the way we understand preaching in ISKCON context, the word, see, it's more in terms of outreach. In order to address such level of audience, which is just about to take up Krishna consciousness, which needs a sort of bridge in between so that they take up Krishna consciousness, right? Otherwise, what you are saying is true. Everything is preaching. Sharing Shastra is also preaching. Bhagavad Gita, when we are teaching to students, is it not preaching? That is also preaching, no doubt. But here, when we are talking about contemporary preaching application, so that is what is more understood. That is what is the meaning derived. In personal application, what you are speaking will come anyhow. For devotees, how it is important, the tolerance and all that. So that will come in personal application, because personal application doesn't only mean, we will come to personal application also, right? It doesn't only mean that how the speaker should be practicing, how the individual should be practicing, rather how as Vaishnavas we should practice this particular principle, why it is needed. So then that aspect will be covered only. So it will be more like personal application. But if you want to take preaching meaning sharing, so then everything is preaching. Why not? We agree with that. But here it's more like you when you talk to the preaching audience, when you talk to the new audience, how do you explain to them that this principle is important? This principle is relevant in today's modern or postmodern context. So that is our point, Prabhu. Got it?
Why I ask that question is that if at all I have chosen a topic or verse where, just to say an example, offense. So that is not very much related to the contemporary audience, that is more related to the devotees who are practicing. So when such a scenario is coming, then we have given 10 marks for this preaching application. So then now while we prepare we may find a little difficult how to, so then we will try to bring some or the other, some preaching application. So that is where I have some point to ask.
Absolutely. So no problem. So that's how, no, when you have a topic which practically will not have much preaching application, like what you are saying of. So Prabhu, practical, it is obviously understood. Absolutely no issues. You don't have to share preaching application there, because there won't be any like that. So even if 10 marks are there, but it is also based on topic. See, same thing will also apply to mood and mission. Same thing will also apply to the aspect of preaching, a personal application. So if somebody takes a topic of Ras Leela, What is personal application in Ras Leela? What would be personal application of a topic of Ras Leela? Like that. So this is a general format, Prabhu. This is a general format. And if your topic is in such a way that if some of the thing is not very strikingly coming out over there, that will be understood. So you are not going to lose any marks over there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So Prabhu, this preaching application, should it be begin in the beginning of our presentation? Should we discuss this point, preaching application, or anywhere we can place this?
Anywhere, anywhere.
Anywhere.
Throughout your presentation, it can come anywhere. No problem. It's not like this is the order of presentation. No, like that.
Prabhu,
Yeah.
while
So now, just I'll explain one more point. So when you talk about this preaching application and it has got 10 marks, no? So make sure that if there is a preaching application coming out of your topic, see, sometimes you may not be able to think about preaching application. Oh, I am not getting any preaching application, but there may be a preaching application. Sometimes you understand it is not there, and yes, judges also may agree that it is not there. Yeah, not so much a topic of relevance for on this particular point. But if it is there, it can be there, and at that time, if you are failing to get it, so then you may lose marks over there because there was a good preaching application, but you didn't bring it up like that. So same way with other aspects also, personal application, preaching application, mood and mission, wherever it is applicable. Most of the topics would be in such a way that you will find that there will be some application. But if some topic is missing only, it is not so much relevant either for devotees, which will be rare, but for outsiders, or it may not be so much relevant for personal application. So then it's understandable. So you're not going to lose many marks over there. You will get the marks because we can also see as judges that there is not much this particular application over here. This skeleton is giving you just a sort of frame of reference to think about. Okay, this way you can open up a topic. This way you can talk about utility of a topic like that. If it fits in, wonderful, that way. Okay, so now when you said 10 marks for preaching application, also do some justice with preaching application, the time that you have involved. Don't just say something in passing and go away. So preaching application can be this like that. And how much time you spoke about it? Some 30 seconds, that's it. And then you feel that you should get 10 marks for that. No, it's not like that. So if it is 10 marks, you at least speak on it for 5 minutes. Do some good justice. So in your 40 minutes presentation, I would say, if you have got preaching application 10 marks, so then at least speak 5 minutes on that. Mood and mission 5 minutes, personal application 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, you can speak. Because even if you do 20 minutes on understanding aspect, that's good enough. Because as I said, out of 75, 35 marks are given for understanding. The 25 marks are more for the overall presentation, right? It is not going to take some time away, like 10 marks for humility thread and 15 marks for communication. It's not going to eat up your presentation time. It is a factor which will be all pervading your presentation. So practically you have 40 minutes for these pockets only: understanding, preaching application, mood and mission, and personal application, isn't it? So that's why give good amount of time, speak 5 minutes at least on preaching application. So then that shows also that you have understood very thoroughly how this topic is relevant for contemporary preaching. That way. Okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So while speaking, is there required to say, now I'm speaking preaching application, this is a personal application, required to mention, yeah, while talking, audience will come to know. So just like now I'm giving 5 minutes time for preaching application, deviation, yeah, keeping in consciousness in mind. So it is required how to go ahead.
Yeah. So see, Prabhu, if you are very confident that the way you are presenting your application can be easily understood, you are talking about preaching context and contemporary preaching and all that, then you don't have to mention those words. But if you're going to speak in a way and you wonder whether it will be intelligible to people, whether they will understand also that I spoke personal application or preaching application and went away, so then better speak it. No problem. You can say that. So coming to the application of this principle in terms of preaching, you can also use some other words. You don't have to say preaching application only. You can say, let us take the relevance of this aspect now to the preaching ground. So immediately you understand what you are talking now is preaching application. So it need not be very mechanized like, so preaching application now, personal application now, mood and mission. So people can see you that you are very much focused on your marks, pockets of your marks. So yeah, you made sure 10 marks, 15 marks. No, you don't have to be natural. You can just say that. So let us take up this scenario now on the preaching ground. How is it relevant? Immediately you understand, oh, he's speaking about preaching application now. You speak in terms of, so how is this relevant for a sadhaka in his own life? That is personal application. You speak like, what is our Srila Prabhupada's vision on the whole principle? It is mood and mission. So understand, Prabhu, this way also you can do. Okay?
Thank you, bro.
Haribol. Yes. Anything else on preaching application? Any of you? Okay, so I hope you got the clarity on this now. If you were to take this particular principle and speak to an audience where you want to make a connection for them to accept Krishna consciousness or like that, how will you do it? That's the bottom line in preaching. Like that. Otherwise, everything can be preaching in ISKCON, right? You can preach about Radha Krishna Prem, and that can also be preaching, but that's not the point here. The point here is that contemporary preaching, when we talk about it, like that. How is it relevant on the contemporary issues, especially pertaining to the society, societal. Okay. Next point is about mood and mission, 15 marks. Again, give good substantial amount of time, spend some time, at least 5 minutes, on mood and mission. So what is mood and mission? Briefly discuss the relevant importance of particular aspects of Srila Prabhupada's mood and mission present. So now this is clearer.
Mood, attitude, should feeling.
So one thing here, don't split these two words, mood and mission. Some of you had that understanding, thinking, okay, what is mood and what is mission? Well, it's one word, mood and mission. Yeah, you may analyze some mood is this and then mission is that, mission is preaching and mood is that. It's a one word, it's mood and mission, that's it. So we don't have to get into so much of analysis of, in my presentation, did I speak about the mood and did I speak about the mission? It's one thing, mood and mission. What does it mean? See, what are Prabhupada's views on this particular topic or the particular theme that you are going to speak? If it is Bhagavatam verse, so what are Prabhupada's views on the principle spoken in that particular verse or the purport, the themes he is touching? So what is his, like if it comes to tolerance, what are Prabhupada's views on tolerance? This also has one very important aspect where you can share some pastime of Prabhupada demonstrating that principle, importance of tolerance, how Prabhupada showed the tolerance principle himself in his life. So this includes in mood of mission, Srila Prabhupada's quotes or Srila Prabhupada's incidents, Srila Prabhupada's instructions relating to the tolerance aspect. You know that famous story one time in Prabhupada, in some temple, they were very much, you know, the whole detail is there, but they were wanting to throw away a devotee. They wanted to remove him, saying that he is useless, he is good for nothing. You tell him any service, he doesn't do it. like that. So finally they went to Prabhupada and they wanted Prabhupada to say that, approve that fact that Prabhupada is good for nothing, we should just throw him out, like that. So when they went to Prabhupada and this is there in Prabhupada Nectar, then Prabhupada said to them that tolerate as I am tolerating you. Can he not be tolerated? He said, please tolerate as I am tolerating you, like that. Or sometimes other aspects of tolerance where Prabhupada tolerated the deadly cold of Kumbh Mela, and he himself showed the example of how devotees should be tolerant. Or Prabhupada's passing away, in which he's showing all the physical tolerance, in the sense tolerating all the physical difficulties, so much of pain in his body, and he's tolerating everything and focusing on his service of translating Bhagavatam. So mood and mission, the best way you handle it is by getting into some pastime which demonstrates that principle, or which gives a great inspiration to follow that particular principle in our life. That is mood and mission of Prabhupada. This will also include Prabhupada's specific instruction on that topic. Like if it was something like tolerance. So how does Prabhupada take the tolerance aspect? Does it mean that you tolerate anything and everything in the name of bhakti? Tomorrow some gundas, hoodlums may come and attack devotees or destroy temple property. So do we tolerate that? What are his instructions on that particular aspect? That is mood and mission. So this whole thing is Prabhupada's life himself, how he demonstrated that principle, and what are his views on these particular aspects, like that. So you can get a quote, you can search for certain quotes on tolerance by Prabhupada from Prabhupada's Shikshamrit, or you can take some pastimes. There are pastimes where the particular pastimes of Prabhupada, the incidents in his life, they are put under different titles like humility of Prabhupada, tolerance of Prabhupada, sense control of Prabhupada, genuineness of Prabhupada, gentleness of Prabhupada. You have read Prabhupada Nectar, Prabhupada Appreciation, all such books. So much of Prabhupada's mood and mission can be there. There is no dearth of it practically. So much has been written on Prabhupada in our moment, that if you are reading those books, you are aware of those books, you can easily find mood and mission aspects on that particular point. Radhakund bathing, bathing in Radhakund. This is a principle in devotee's life. What is Prabhupada's mood and mission? Very clear mood and mission, right? He has a very specific view on that bathing in Radhakund, like that. Take another example of whatever. Take Dhamvas or anything, all such aspects where Prabhupada's mood and mission is very specific actually. He has very specific thought process and his desire that how this principle can be applied into devotee's life. Deep study of Shastra. What are Prabhupada's views on it? What was Prabhupada's mood towards the Shastras? What are his views? How does he want devotees to cultivate this principle? That is mood and mission. Okay. So look for some good incident in Prabhupada's life, and also look for some good quotes, some good instructions which Prabhupada has spoken on that particular topic, including the purport. In purport also handle it, how Prabhupada is saying if something, some mood and mission is reflecting, if it's Bhagavatam class and on the verse, and if the topic is reflecting his mood and mission in a very particular way, he starts speaking about Varnashram aspect or like that, and then you pick up that mood over there. Yes, he is speaking about mood and mission, and do some good justice on that. Some 5 minutes to 7 minutes, you speak on that. At least 5 minutes, speak on that. It is a 15 marks pocket in your presentation. Okay, Prabhu, any question on mood and mission? I think this is clearer. This is quite straightforward. Okay, finally, personal application. Discuss seeing our world from the viewpoint presented in the section. So see, this is more for Vaishnavas now. This is more for us as sadhakas, as devotees. How is this principle applicable in our own life? You may speak in terms of even your own life, but of course, speak it in a way that it maintains the decor and decency. It's a Bhagavatam class or presentation, so it's not a counseling meeting where you are sharing your heart to counselor or something. No, it's a standard official forum. So speak it in a way that it has the aspect of that particular aspect. Or you may just speak it in a third person sense, that you may see as Vaishnavas, we actually have great application of this principle in our life. Oftentimes in our life, how we, because of not having tolerance, how we cause breakage in the relationships, how we lose good friends in the personal application, right? We can share also some incident where you could not show the tolerance. You can share incident where you showed the tolerance, or a particular devotee showed the tolerance and how he was benefited, or he didn't. Especially if you are sharing a negative example, then did not show of others. At least if you are sharing also, don't quote the name saying this and this devotee. You could just say one time. Sometimes it may happen in a devotee's life. Especially negative examples, you should be very careful not to quote the name, neither to speak in such a way that everybody understands who are you talking about. Don't get into such things. Personal application, you speak about your own life if you wish to, and you otherwise speak in a third person, like that. You speak in a way that as Vaishnavas, this is the principle that we have very great importance in our life. If we don't have tolerance, then what happens? Share some history or share some findings because of not having tolerance, how then we see that the management collapsed, or the particular seva collapsed, or the relationships broke between devotees, and then how the project suffered. You could say this, all these things like that. Also speak about some solution, how we can develop this idea in our principle in our life. Some solution also, not only just problem, but the solution aspect also, you can say. Personal application, how we can develop tolerance, how we can control anger, practical steps for that, Prabhupada's suggestion for that, whatever, application based that way. So that is personal application. So this also has substantial marks, 15 marks. So don't just say them in passing. Just you said one or two statements and that's it. Or you showed some slide which stayed there for 30 seconds and you passed further. It need not be like that. So speak some good amount of time, 5-7 minutes on that substantial personal application. Address challenges in that. When we talk about tolerance, do we mean that everything should be tolerated? What is the limit for tolerance? What to tolerate, what not to tolerate, whom to tolerate for, whom not to tolerate for. All such things could be spoken in personal application. Okay. So those are the three main sections along with the understanding section. So do a good justice with these 4 sections and your presentation should be good enough. That is like a good presentation who has done justice to these aspects. Okay. Finally speaking, in parampara humility thread. So anyway, it is not something which it will be judged all throughout the presentation, and also question answers. It is not something which is a section in your speech. It's just part of entire presentation.
So, but here we see the two part of question and answer. One is the understanding section and last section. Two part.
What?
Two part is the question and answer.
What is 2 part? One only, no? Question and answer. What is second part?
Yeah. We see in the handbooks, in the first part is the understanding section. Here is also one question and section, question and answer section, and in the last also one question and answer section.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I understood what you're saying. Are you speaking about this, Pro? Speaking in parampara and humility thread?
Yes, Prabhu, this is one, and another is
In the understanding section.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, so what is this section saying? You see the title, no, Prabhu? It is not Q&A. It is speaking in parampara and humility thread. All throughout the session and question answers, were you speaking in parampara or were you concocting on your own, speculating on your own, or speaking some very dubious, specious ideas? That is speaking in parampara. And humility thread, were you humble or you were challenging in presentation? And when somebody asked question, did you become irritated? Did you become insecure by those questions? Or you handled them peacefully with a humble mind? So that has 10 marks. There is no question and answer session. What it is saying is presenter speaking in parampara and maintaining humility when he is asked with tough or sensitive questions. That is that last question answer only, that section only. When he is asked tough or insensitive questions or sensitive questions, yeah, sensitive, yes. So when it is asked, when are these questions asked? They are asked in the end, after presentation. This is not some questions during the presentation. So you understand, it is one section only. Q&A is after your 40 minutes presentation is over. Nothing in between questions, okay? Got it, no?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, I had requested this last time I gave first presentation, first day only. This time I wanted to give second day presentation of both.
So you
Please.
text to me, personally you text to me, no problem. You send me a message personally, I said, this is okay. I thought you have a question on the whole thing. So any of you, what is Swarnakanti Gaur Prabhu or Tapomay Hari Prabhu, are you getting understanding? Any confusion on this now? Tell me. Or anyone else, any of you. Is it clear to you?
Yes, Prabhu.
Understood, no?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
There are 4 days for these sessions. Last time we conducted Bhagavatam classes first, then last 2 days were allotted for presentations. The same schedule we are going to follow this time.
Yes, Prabhu. Today I am sending to you the schedule. Every day there will be three presentations, basically. Three every day. So 3, 3, 3, 3. So we are beginning with Bhagavatam class.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Anyone else from online?
Prabhu, everybody's presence is compulsory.
Yeah, Prabhu, it will be compulsory.
Somebody want to just like going to give presentation, so he may take at least one session leave.
So that rule is there. No, last time also we spoke that just before presentation, if you have presentation at 11, so 10 o'clock's presentation you may miss, no problem. Just 1 hour before you can miss. But rest of the presentations, yeah, it is expected that you be there in the audience. Otherwise, he will be speaking only to judges.
Time, yeah, last time it was little bit hectic. If kindly, this
yeah, but now this time it is only 3 presentations in a day, Prabhu. That's it.
Oh.
And then you don't have any classes, right? At that time, no classes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be 3 hours engagement. That's all.
Oh. Oh. In between, it will be can be given in 5 minutes. I don't know.
Want a gap in 3 sessions also. Better we finish non-stop and you take a full gap, you know?
Okay, I just want to.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, in our presentation and Srimad Bhagavatam class, so we have to mention all the references, our informations within 4 to 6 canto, or we can include information from other cantos or from outside.
Okay. So Prabhu, if it is presentation, it is primarily based on 4 to 6 cantos. If it is Bhagavatam, it is primarily based on 1 verse from Canto 4 to 6. So your presentation should be based on Canto 4 to 6. Now, if you take some reference, one reference, two reference from Chaitanya Charitamrita or Vedanta or whatever, nobody is going to ask you why you are, using all these references. But primarily, you should be speaking from Canto 4 to 6. When we say power of holy name, you can speak from 100 scriptures, right? But we are expecting you speak on the basis of 4 to 6 canto. All other aspects also, you can see the topics are more or less based upon that particular canto only. So 4 to 6 canto, that is what we are expecting. You have to quote verses from those sections or canto 4 to 6. It's a 4 to 6 canto presentation. It's not a general Bhagavad presentation. 1 to 3 was done, now 4 to 6. So in your presentation study, it should reflect that you have studied nicely this section and these cantos, and you are able to profusely quote from them. Clear, Prabhu? But you can't bring up a whole presentation based out of some other book. Like if you bring in your understanding section, practically 75% of it or 50% of it is coming from some Vedanta or something. That's not correct. Your main presentation should be based on Bhagavatam. You may bring some idea from Vedanta, no problem. You may bring something from, see, Sandarbhas is Bhagavatam only. So you are bringing from Bhagavatam in Sandarbhas and with proper giving the text of Bhagavatam and making sure that it is within Bhagavatam's context. That is also good. But taking it completely from Chaitanya Charitamrita or from Vedanta or from Bhagavad Gita, almost entire presentation is based on Gita. So then you may certainly fail in the presentation. Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
So I hope all other questions are also done. So we can stop here now. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for joining. I hope, I wish all the best for all of your presentations. So we'll meet on 15th. Hare Krishna. Thank you.